Higher costs for your mulch, decorative stone, flagstone, and boulders. Feel free to check around. For the quality of our products, you won't find better prices. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Transform your home today. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
Next stop, the City of Angels, where the crew is looking to raise a little hell.
And are always capable of rolling up a double play. The pitch, ground ball, second base. Terang, Fields, flips to Pratt for one. On to first in time. Ask and ye shall receive.
The Brewers head to L.A. to take on the Angels. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 8. Don't miss a pitch on the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
I'm John Mercure. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story, finding the former city attorney guilty.
I'm Julia Fellow. President Trump says get it done.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We have not had rain to drive through in a long time, so let's take it easy out there right now. Dealing with a couple of accidents. Westbound 94 right in the Marquette. We've got the two left lanes basically on the ramp from northbound 4394 to westbound, so just be careful with that. We've also got a bunch of broken down vehicles pretty much all over the place. We've got a crash on the ramp from Beecher to 4394 southbound as well. Heavy delays southbound 43 from Brown Deer Road to Bender, and then from Hampton down through the Marquette all the way past those accident scenes. Westbound 94 backing up from just west of 27th Street to Hawley Road, eastbound from 70th Street to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, showers are likely. They'll continue. Windy, a low of 66. Tomorrow, more early rain, a high of 72. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee's former city attorney found guilty of misconduct. Chairman Spencer was accused of directing his staff to help him and a property owner avoid paying thousands of dollars in fees, repairs, and permits on a property he used to store cars. A jury found Spencer guilty of misconduct in public office, but not guilty of misdemeanor obstruction. He could face up to 4 years in prison when he's sentenced in September. Spencer Tierman is also charged with money laundering and receiving stolen property in a separate case.
Inspection teams continue damage assessments across the Fox Valley after that tornado tore through the community Monday. Andrew Dane is the development director for the city of Menasha. He tells Wisconsin's Midday News.
Over 40% of those inspections, the structures were either tagged with yellow or red cards, meaning there was either some pretty moderate to severe damage to total destruction of the structures.
To learn more about recovery efforts, text tornado to our setting limited talk and text line 855-616-1620.
If you're affected by this spring's severe storms and flooding, there's still time left to apply for federal disaster assistance. The deadline to apply for FEMA aid and SBA disaster loans is August 31st. So far, more than $44 million has been approved for roughly 16,000 people across southeast Wisconsin impacted by April's storms.
The president is standing by his choice for Attorney General. Speaking to reporters at Camp David, he reiterated that he wants Todd Blanche sworn in as AG.
During the same hour of that cabinet meeting, Senator Tom Tillis, the other Republican senator, publicly raising concerns about the anti-weaponization fund, posted to X saying the criminals who assaulted police officers and defiled our nation's capital are not great American patriots who are victims of government abuse. Anyone who attacked law enforcement should still be in prison, not getting a check from the federal government.
That was News Nation's Tom Dempsey. The president is considering withdrawing his nomination until two senators are back in replaced next year.
The former police chief in Beloit has a new job. Andre Sales today was announced as Seattle's interim police chief after the sudden resignation of former chief Sean Barnes. Barnes, who'd served as the police chief in Madison for several years, resigned after his department was criticized for its handling of a mass shooting outside Seattle's Space Needle last week. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson.
I am grateful for his service, and I share his hope that we can return our full focus to what matters most right now, addressing youth gun violence and making sure that every family in this city can feel safe in their neighborhood.
Wilson says they'll conduct a nationwide search for a full-time chief.
Coming up, a welcome sight at Packers training camp.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:05.
Bring us your problems, deadlines, complexities, anxieties, distractions, and budget distresses.
Plum Media is listening.
Share with us your creative block.
Plum Media is ready.
Give us your audience with limited time and attention.
Plum Media sets your message free.
Let's get your message heard. Let's strive for retention from beginning to completion. Whether your next event is for celebration, education, motivation, inspiration, Plum Media is waiting to take action.
Professional collaborators, planners, managers. Plum Media, video production and event management.
Plum Media, wow moments, flawless execution, clarity, calm, control.
And results.
Plum Media, a video, meetings, and event producer with global experience. PlumMedia.com.
It's WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. If you're looking for expert care without that cold clinical vibe, Sweet Talks is where beauty, wellness, and self-confidence comes together in such a fun, welcoming space. Sweet Talks offers injectables, advanced skin treatments, even wellness services like weight loss or hormone optimization. Sweet Talks provides a comprehensive consultation designed just for you. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
I'm Matt Dorner, CEO of Milwaukee Downtown Bid 21. Our business leaders value downtown Milwaukee.
We're proud to call downtown Milwaukee our home for over a century. I'm Mary Ellen Stanek, president of Baird Funds. As one of downtown's largest employers, Baird has a deep dedication to the community here. You could say we're invested in downtown's success.
Get down to business at MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. Tucker Kraft is back. Packers star tight end was activated off the PUP list this week and partook in morning practice with his teammates today. Today's return to the practice field marked the first on-field work for Kraft after he tore his ACL on November 2nd. We'll get more from Jason Wilde, Packers insider, with us coming up at 5:15. And on WTMJ tonight, it's the return of Brewers baseball. The Crew are out west, taking on the Los Angeles Angels. Coverage on WTMJ starts at 8 o'clock right here.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:08.
We are sponsored by Infinity Exteriors, your local experts for roofing, siding, and window projects.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
You know that frustrating injury that just will not heal? Vince Vitrano for MD Hyperbaric. Your back, your ankle, your foot, your knee. Recovery after surgery. Doctor said give it time. Let it rest. But it's not getting better. MD Hyperbaric supports your body's natural healing process. I've done it myself. Treatments that reduce inflammation, speed recovery, and get you back to living life. No pills, no injections. Discover the healing power of oxygen under pressure. MDHyperbaric.com.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
All right, we made it. It's Friday. Happy Friday. My lawn is rejoicing.
Me too.
So happy. Look at that. This is a steady rain coming down, too. Not like that pounder that came through the day of the tornadoes. So
thank goodness.
Be careful driving out there. Debbie's going to help get you home, but this rain is sweet. It's so nice. I love it. All right, let's get to Friday.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Some new details, Julia, in the first item about the hostage situation at the Meijer store in Waukesha. So this was yesterday. Here's the deal. The city's emergency communications center received a call at 5:50 from a man who said he was armed with a knife and had hostages. He said, I want to talk to a negotiator. I'm inside the store. Well, the officers responded. They got the guy on the phone, and the guy is a 59-year-old. Yeah. And they said, yeah, we could see him. He had a knife, was standing next to a 59-year-old man. They told him, drop the knife, drop the knife. And he did not. So guess what? They had a clean shot, and they shot the guy. He was hurt really badly. They rushed in, applied a tourniquet to him. He was taken to a local hospital. He remains in critical condition. The 59-year-old victim was treated at the scene for injuries, non-life-threatening, and we don't know the details. So we don't know if the victim was stabbed, if he was cut, if he fell down. We just don't know the details, but he is expected to survive. The officer who fired his weapon is a 26-year-old with 5 years of experience, and as is standard, he's now on administrative leave.
Strange that the suspect had white makeup on over his face.
That is a strange detail.
Like premeditated there. Okay, number 2. Congresswoman Gwen Moore has endorsed Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley in Wisconsin's Democratic race for governor. Moore was very mum on this. She didn't want to get in the middle of it, but now says she's known Crowley since he is a community organizer, and she believes he is ready to lead our state. The endorsement comes after Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes dropped out of the race suddenly. According to the latest Marquette poll, Francesca Hong leads with 38% of Democratic voters. That was followed by Barnes at 16%, and Crowley trails at 7%. Everyone else is single digits, like Crowley. So we'll have to stay tuned. The general election is coming up in November.
New details and new bad news for Tony Romo, the Wisconsin native who's CBS guy. Well, guess what? CBS has placed Tony Romo on suspension. They've set him aside. They're saying, you know what, until further notice, you're on leave right now. You will not be working games this fall. Instead, they've already announced J.J. Watt will join Jim Nantz and Tracy Wolfson. So the NFL season doesn't even begin for a month, and they've already announced that Tony Romo is going to have somebody else taking his place. You may know that Romo was arrested after driving south on Interstate 43. According to the Sheriff's Department, he wouldn't take a field sobriety test. According to the Sheriff's Department, an open bottle of alcohol was found inside the vehicle. And according to the Sheriff's Department, Romo was seen passing cars in an on-ramp area. Body camera footage released showed Romo telling deputies, I'm on my way to visit Grandma and Grandpa, and saying I had 0 drinks. And also shows him bizarrely performing those field sobriety tests. And at least for now, he is on a leave from CBS. They're setting him aside while they see how this all plays out. It is 3:13 at WTMJ. We're sponsored by Diversified Wealth Strategies. Your life, your goals. Visit dwstrategies.com.
Many people feeling close to retirement ask themselves, do I have enough?
Am I missing something?
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, we provide clarity during our complimentary, no-pressure consultation. We're independent advisors using big firm tools with a boutique-style approach.
And no crickets. We stay in touch so you're never left wondering.
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, let us show you how to capture the upside, limit the downside, and feel good inside.
Visit dwstrategies.com.
Securities and investment services offered through Mosaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
The world's most iconic landscapes are yours to explore with Fox World Travel and Globus. Imagine tasting your way through historic Italy, witnessing the breathtaking waterfalls and glaciers of Iceland, or relaxing on the tropical shores of beautiful Hawaii. With Globus, you get premium, expert-led itineraries and VIP access to major sites, while we handle every travel detail for you. Book your next great adventure today. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com.
Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. It's about doing the right thing. It's about taking care of some of those in our lives that are the most vulnerable. At Azura, they have specialized training for our loved ones that have Alzheimer's, dementia, maybe some form of cognitive decline. At Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, it's unlike other places. I've toured Azura. I've met the residents. I've met the workers. They're absolutely incredible, those workers. It's empathy, compassion, it's kindness. They've got many locations in southeast Wisconsin. They're Wisconsin-based. They're family-owned. These are difficult discussions, but when it comes to mom and dad or grandma and grandpa, check out Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
You might not think of Burkhart for corporate uniforms and other business apparel, but you should, because a lot of businesses do. And it's because most times we're cheaper than our competition on the same high-quality apparel choices that the other guys offer, plus Nike and Under Armour that the other guys can't get. So for businesses and corporations, if you want your employees to look great while representing your brand, and you want to get your apparel for less, you can't beat Burkhart, your business uniform specialists.
You can't beat Burkhart.
Traffic and weather. All right, Debbie Lazaga, how's that rain impacting our ride?
Well, we're definitely seeing delays out there around the area. First of all, we've got a couple of accidents, though. One on westbound 94 at 4394 northbound. 2 left lanes are blocked right now, so that is definitely going to affect your ride. We've also got an accident on the ramp from Beecher to southbound 4394. It's right at the end of the ramp, so you're going to have to merge a little bit earlier than you expect. So just be careful with that. Southbound on 41, it's a slow ride from pretty much Good Hope Road all the way past Burleigh. The northbound side's backing up from Mayfair Road past Burleigh as well. We've got some debris on the roadway on the ramp from 894 eastbound to northbound 9443. That's in the Mitchell interchange, so they may have to close off some lanes to clear it off. I can't quite see what it is, though. Definitely seeing delays westbound 894 out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to Forest Home. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Rain is going to continue tonight, a low of 66 degrees, maybe an inch of rain tonight. Tomorrow, early rain showers, another batch of steady rain, another half inch, high of 72 tomorrow. Sunday, cloudy, breezy, a high of 72. Monday, mostly sunny, a high of 77. Tuesday, warmer and more humid, a high of 80 degrees. We're sponsored by Infinity Exteriors, your local experts for roofing, siding, and window projects. Man, I am jazzed as hell. It's Friday.
I know. It was a long week, no?
It felt like it because of all the news, right? Crazy news week.
Yeah.
Tornadoes were this week. Doesn't it feel like a lifetime ago?
Oh, that feels like it was last week.
And then all the political stuff. And we've got all that covered coming up throughout the next couple of hours here. First, they've been a staple of American culture since the repeal of Prohibition in 1933. But behind the iconic red wagon and brass harnesses lies a massive round-the-clock operation. Debbie Lazaga went behind the scenes with the Budweiser Clydesdales to find out what it really takes to keep 10 2,000-pound legends on the road.
When a celebrity rolls into town, usually there's a stretch limo, a security detail, maybe a quiet back entrance to dodge the crowds. But when your celebrity stands 6 feet tall at the shoulder, weighs over a ton, and travels with 9 of his closest friends, well, logistics get a little tricky.
I think a lot of times people don't realize that we load them up on semis. So, although the horses are big, the trucks are even bigger. So finding space to park the trucks, that's something that we run into.
That's Megan Arnold. She actually drives the rigs and handles the famous Budweiser Clydesdales. Her team spends 300 days a year on the road, hauling 10 Clydesdales across the country in massive semi-trailers.
One of them holds 4 horses and our portable stalls that we've set up here at the fair. The next truck holds 6 horses, and then the third truck carries the harness and the wagon.
Mind you, before those truck doors ever open in a new city, someone has to scout the route first. Because navigating tight city streets when you're hauling an original 1903 Studebaker wagon, well, there's zero room for error.
When we do come to town, one person always goes and does what we call a show preview, just to make sure that we can fit in the places that they want us to go with the trucks and with the wagon.
Once the trucks are parked and the ramps come down, the real work starts. Getting 8 giant Clydesdales parade ready takes time and a lot of elbow grease.
When we get to the show, we'll unload them one by one, bring them up to what we call a prep station. So that's where we brush them off, comb out their feathers, make sure their noses are cleaned. Then they'll move up to the truck where we'll start to harness them. So 2 people will throw a harness on them.
It's a routine that stretches all the way back to 1933, right at the end of Prohibition. But Megan says all those highway miles and early mornings, well, they pay off the second the team steps out in front of a crowd.
I think anytime we hook them to the wagon, that's my favorite part, sharing the hitch with the public. There's a lot of history and heritage there, and I think it's really special to be a part of, and it's a cool job.
And despite their sheer size, Megan says these gentle giant celebrities seem to know when to dial it back, especially when someone needs a gentle touch.
If you have a person in a wheelchair that comes up and wants to pet a horse, typically they do lower their head and actually get closer to them, which I think is really special that they can recognize that situation.
Proving that moving 10 one-ton icons takes more than just big trucks and long routes. It takes a little heart, too. Debbie Lazaga, WTMJ News.
What a fun story. So cool to have them here in town. We continue to monitor the weather. It is raining really steady through most of southeast Wisconsin. It is 3:20 at WTMJ.
When should you take Social Security? Hi, I'm Tony Drake, certified financial planner and founder of Drake & Associates right here in Wisconsin. For many retirees, Social Security is one of the most important income sources they'll have. But deciding when to claim your benefits isn't always simple. Claim early, and your monthly benefits may be permanently reduced. Wait too long, and you might miss years of income you could have received. The right strategy depends on several factors: your health, your spouse's benefits, your other retirement income, and how taxes could affect what you keep. At Drake & Associates, we help Wisconsin families coordinate Social Security with the rest of their retirement plan so it works alongside your investments, taxes, and income strategy. To help you get started, I'm offering my complimentary retirement toolkit. It includes my book, Get Retirement Ready, and 5 guides that explain how Social Security fits into a complete retirement plan. Call 414-897-9522 or text TAX to that number for your no-cost toolkit. That's 414-897-9522 or text the word TAX to 414-897-9522. Because when it comes to Social Security, the right timing can make a big difference.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
John Mercure here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. It should be easy. It should be fun. One of the things I really appreciate about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, they believe in straightforward pricing, honest conversations, and helping homeowners find the right fit for their home without inflated prices or high-pressure sales tactics. You know, at the end of the day, a fair final price matters, and some flashy discount matters much more than that discount. When you buy direct through Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, one trusted team handles everything from start to finish. The same company that manufactures your windows and doors is the one that sells, installs, and services them. We have been living this. We're Pella customers. The Pella certified installers are there every step of the way. We have confidence in the process, confidence in the product, confidence in one team standing behind the work from beginning to end. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is real pricing, premium quality, no games. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Milwaukee is the flagship city for a nationwide after-school and summer program that's filling a void in music education, thanks to a big name in American rock music.
On most days after school, Milwaukee area high school student AJ heads to a recording studio lined with a wallpaper collage of music posters and guitars hanging on the wall, with colorful neon lights glowing from recording rooms.
They taught me how to play guitar, piano, drums, how to work production, how to record my own music, and it's been several months now, and I think I got pretty good at it.
These music lessons and the studio are all supported by the drummer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Chad Smith.
It's really a way for kids to be exposed to music. If it wasn't for me being able to do that way back when I was in high school, I probably wouldn't be drumming and playing the drums like I am.
He chose Milwaukee to found the Chad Smith Foundation and be the launch city for its after-school music program.
What we found out with the model was obviously places to play really important, instruments really important. We have those two. It was finding the teachers. That's the glue, to have teachers that will show up, be consistent.
The foundation is run as a family. His nephew Lewis Smith is executive director.
We're always trying to encourage more continuity because you see music programs
arrive, but then without that really sustainability, both from people attending and instructors giving the lessons, it really can fall apart.
The foundation collaborates with Notes for Notes, a nonprofit that builds recording studios and fills them with instruments and instructors. Smith works to bring these resources to several Milwaukee area organizations with youth programming.
It's a resource that was not here before. And in a time where many schools are cutting funding in this area or just never had, that type of programming anyway.
Dawn Barnett is the co-executive director of one of those organizations, Running Rebels.
Anytime a young person is involved in something that they want to do and they look forward to doing, that puts a different element on their life. That means they're less likely to engage in things that will take them away from being able to do their goal.
High school senior Ty has used the program to finish his first EP.
I kind of just got to the point where it was like about the artistry for me. I kind of made this EP for myself, and I kind of felt like those who gravitated towards it, they would naturally. So I kind of just added a little bit of everything with this EP.
Ty is a leader of tomorrow in the Running Rebels program. He's become a mentor for some of the younger kids.
It's kind of became the groundwork of the man that I wanted to become. I feel that every young man and every young girl should be in some type of programming. We try to make sure that even if this may not be your thing, you give it a try.
For AJ, the experience has had a direct influence on his post-high school plans.
I want to take music classes at Full Sail University, something that I kind of really want to use as a career in my life now. I think they've showed me that.
I'm Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Such a nice story right here in Milwaukee, the flagship. It is 3:27 at WTMJ. Let's check the markets. How about this for a Friday? Yesterday, Thursday, was fantastic. Today, Friday, ba-boom, again. Annex Wealth Management wants you to know that the NASDAQ was up 252 today. That's 1%. The Dow was up 277. That's another 0.5%. The S&P 500 was up 52 points today, almost 0.75%. Annex Wealth Management is financial planning at every level. Feel fiduciary all the time. The teams I trust are at Annex.
Your financial life is not just about numbers. It is a journey, and Annex Wealth Management aims to help you move through it with clarity. When markets shift, it can be hard to understand what it means for what you have built. Annex offers guidance as a fee-only fiduciary firm, which means their recommendations are built around your best interests rather than commissions or product sales. Annex gives you access to a local team that includes wealth managers, financial planners, investment managers, estate planning attorneys, and client service specialists who work together to create a strategy tailored to your situation. They help clients with investment management, retirement income, planning, tax coordination, estate planning, education funding, and business succession strategies. Annex knows there's different financial plans for different stages of life, and they can help you adjust as things change. With nationwide accessibility, Annex blends personal attention with leading-edge tools to offer an experience built around informed decision-making. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference. Click Get Started at annexwealth.com.
A new deck from Outdoor Living Unlimited is built to last. We are Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck installation team. For amazing ideas, go to Outdoor Living Unlimited's Instagram page. For a free estimate, go to OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on August 4th.
Curio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they play the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Local Union 2150 IBEW. Tune in August 4th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Want to watch all your favorite WTMJ shows? Check out the WTMJ YouTube channel. Live streams of all your favorite WTMJ shows. From Wisconsin's morning news to what's on tap. Subscribe to 620 WTMJ. Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, a guilty verdict for a former city attorney.
I'm Julia Fellow. One Wisconsinite replaces another at CBS.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, southbound on 43, backing up just south of Brown Deer Road, all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River crossing. Northbound, slowing down from Oklahoma Avenue, all the way up through the Marquette to Locust. On that, we do have an accident on the ramp from Beecher to southbound 4394, so that's contributing to some of the delays you've got. Also, northbound, you've got delays because of an accident just past Howard Avenue on the left shoulder. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Showers and storms likely tonight. Windy. Wind gusts up to 25 miles an hour. A low of 66 degrees. Tomorrow, early rain showers ending by afternoon. A high of 72 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee's former city attorney is found guilty of misconduct. Chairman Spencer was accused of directing his staff to help him and a property owner avoid paying thousands of dollars in fees, repairs, and permits on a property he used to store cars. A jury found Spencer guilty of misconduct in public office, but not guilty of misdemeanor obstruction. He could face up to 4 years in prison when he's sentenced in September. Spencer is also charged with money laundering and receiving stolen property. That's in a separate case.
Damage assessments continue across the Fox Valley after that tornado. City of Menasha Community Development Director Andrew Dane tells Wisconsin's Midday News many structures have significant damage.
A lot of broken windows, a lot of ripped off, torn off siding, a lot of garages. You'd be amazed at how many garages just flew out of people's yards or got moved, 10, 15 feet or ended up in the neighbor's backyard.
Power is still being restored to parts of the area as we speak. For ways you can help, text the word tornado to our WTMJ Setting Unlimited Talk and Text line 855-616-1620.
An investigation continues after a fire at a duplex on Milwaukee's east side this morning. The Milwaukee Fire Department was called to the area of Holton and North about 8 o'clock when they found the second floor of a duplex with flames shooting out the windows. No one was in the home at the time, and no injuries have been reported.
President Donald Trump downplaying the threat of foreign interference after several water plants in Minnesota were targeted by cyber attacks. ABC's Christian Cordero.
Really what the president is doing, if you read between the lines, is also shrugging off the potential for Iran to have interfered. He's basically said that this is too small for them, that, they should be so lucky, is a direct quote from what he said earlier today. But what stands in contrast of that is just the fact that a lot of this intelligence is coming from his own departments. And so while the investigation is still really early on, there are some suggestions that this is coming from at least an Iranian-backed group.
The FBI is investigating the source of those attacks.
An unprecedented border crisis has erupted in a Spanish territory. Up to 60,000 migrants entered the area from Morocco, with at least 57 of them dying during their attempts to cross. ABC News foreign correspondent Britt Clinette.
We know that tens of thousands have already gone back from Ceuta, some voluntarily, some under these bilateral agreements, but they are straining the makeshift centres that have been set up. They have sent in the military to reinforce the border, requested emergency powers, and they are working with the Moroccan authorities too. But we are still seeing a stream of people cross that border.
The Spanish government says half the migrants have been returned to Morocco.
CBS broadcaster Tony Romo has been placed on leave following his arrest last week in Milwaukee on suspicion of driving drunk.
The former Dallas Cowboys quarterback and Burlington, Wisconsin native will be on leave from his role at CBS Sports until further notice. The move follows deputies pulling Romo over on I-43 and his subsequent poor performance on standardized field sobriety tests last week.
Did I pass this test?
You turn around.
No, I didn't.
Romo's court date is scheduled for September 21st. Meanwhile, another Wisconsin native will take Romo's place on CBS's upcoming NFL broadcasts. Former Badger J.J. Watt will serve in the color commentator role alongside Jim Nantz. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. Jordan Love's safety blanket is back on the practice field. Packers tight end Tucker Kraft practicing with teammates today for the first time since tearing his ACL last November. Kraft listed as a partial participant, but says he'll be fully ready to play in the team's season opener on September 13th against the Vikings. And the Brewers are in California this weekend. The Crew's in Los Angeles for a 3-game series with the Los Angeles Angels. Coverage on WTMJ starts at 8 o'clock tonight.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:35.
Hey, it's the weekend. Take your family and guests to the Fox and Hounds, the up north, timbered, beautiful supper club near Holy Hill. John Mercure here. I love the Fox and Hounds. The Friday haddock fish fry is all you can eat and one of the best. All other dinners are buy one, get one free. The pan-fried walleye, the honey glazed salmon, the shrimp and scallop stir fry, surf and turf, your favorite steak or pasta, any entree. All buy one, get one free. Relax with a cocktail on that patio in the woods. The views are incredible. Then dinner in one of the 8 dining rooms. Serving Saturday lunch from 11 till 2. I highly recommend the award-winning Sunday all-you-care-to-eat brunch. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167 near Holy Hill. The summer drive is a must-see. Tables are open. Google, call, reserve. Enjoy a free world-class dinner this weekend at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, serving from 4 p.m. Dine early at the Fox and Hounds.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
All right, happy Friday. You can hear the lawns across southeast Wisconsin singing to the heavens right now. My lawn has a nice singing voice, much nicer than Vince Vitrano's lawn's singing voice. It is raining pretty steady out there. It is good stuff, so we're keeping an eye on it. And Debbie's got her eye on the roads. All right, on Friday, we like to do this little segment.
In case you missed it.
Dateline Gulf Shores, Alabama.
Oh.
Thank you, Edward R. Murrow. All sorts of banned items are discovered in luggage every day at TSA, right? It just happens. Well, at the Gulf Shores International Airport, where do they fly, like to Jamaica? Their international airport in Gulf Shores, TSA officer Justin Dupree was examining bags. He's running the x-ray machine. He's looking at it. Stuff's coming through. His eyes are glazing over. Oh, my God, another curling iron. Oh, looks like a thing of jelly. And suddenly, he sees something that looks like a big, huge stone. It looks like, in the cartoons, one of those bombs that's a circular bomb with a long fuse that comes out like that Bugs Bunny has. So he stops the machine. He asks to search the bag, and he finds 5 Civil War-era cannonballs.
What?
In the bag.
How does that not go overweight?
Well, it was his carry-on dub. So he put it through the machine, right? They're wrapped in paper towels. They're the size of grapefruits, roughly. So they go through the machine. They go out the other side, and the traveler says, well, there's not fuses on them. These are like ancient, they're almost like stones. And he says, no, they're cannonballs. You can't put the cannonball through the machine. Cannonball. No, not here. You can't do that. Then they actually find out that the cannonballs were stolen from a Civil War era fort.
What?
Right next door. So now the cannonballs are in custody and the guy's facing charges. So don't try to bring a cannonball on a flight.
In case you missed it.
I thought this was pretty interesting. Colombia is dealing with a major invasive species, and it traces back to drug lord Pablo Escobar.
Ooh.
They have an invasive population of hippos. Okay?
Oh.
Yep. It began in the 1980s. Escobar illegally imported 4 hippos, okay, for his private zoo. He has a wild, wild zoo. He had tigers and everything. So after he died in 1993, the animals escaped and began breeding in the wild on their own.
Whoa.
So today, the population has grown to more than 200 hippos, and scientists warn that number could exceed 1,000 in a decade.
Whoa.
Those are dangerous, too.
Yeah,
They're very
are.
dangerous. They have not killed anyone so far in Colombia, but they charge, they attack, especially in water. They can go extremely fast. You'd be a speedboat. It can go as fast as that. It is unbelievable.
1,000? Those hippos like to knock the boots.
No
How's that
kidding.
1,000 hippos?
4!
What?
It started with a 4.
That's insane. Those are some busy hippos.
So Colombia is now using sterilization and relocation efforts to control this growing crisis, they say.
In case you missed it.
All right. Well, Wisconsin lumberjacks and lumberjills were chopping their way into the record books earlier this month. We're in Hayward. It is a famous area. The 3-day Lumberjack World Championships wrapped up earlier this month in Hayward, bringing together 106 competitors from 16 states and 9 countries. And 3 women's world records fell. Karolina Urbanova of the Czech Republic broke 2 of them. She hacked through an 11-inch block of white pine in just 21.28 seconds to win the women's underhand chop. Then she took on a 9-inch block standing upright and finished that in 19.38 seconds, setting another world record. But hometown girl Hayward's Meredith Ingebrigtsen made the hometown crowd proud in the women's boom run. That's an event where the competitors race across some floating logs, turn around, and somehow race back without falling into the water. Ingebrigtsen crossed 8 red cedar logs and returned in just 13.78 seconds.
Wow.
And women, they don't just show up with their own kind of, you go to Home Depot and pick up an axe or anything like that. They report that custom-built chainsaws, specially sharpened axes, and single buck saws that can cost more than $400 just to sharpen. That's what they come up with. I mean, this is like elite stuff. So they're setting their history at the Hayward Lumberjack and Lumberjill World Championships this month.
In a related story, in Colombia, speaking of world records, hippos are mud rolling on top of each other at a record pace. Yeah, cue the Barry White. I like what you're doing there. In case you miss it, it's sponsored by Old Fashioned Roofing, where a handshake still matters. They treat customers the old-fashioned way, where the handshake is the word and the word is their bond. Check them out today at oldfashionedroofing.com. It is 3:41 at WTMJ. Mark Murphy, former president of the Packers, with us live on a cool new project he's working on. That's up next.
Just doing some roofing on another lovely Wisconsin day. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, it's just roofing done the old-fashioned way. Do you need shingles? Let's mingle, for a Wisconsin tradition never dwindles. So raise a glass, shake a hand for this old-fashioned brand. Whoop, that's old-fashioned roofing.
Here's why you can feel confident in choosing Less's Glass to fabricate and install your new shower door or glass bath enclosure. For over 40 years, we've done thousands of them. And when you want a new and modern aesthetic added to your bathroom, you want a crew with experience behind it. We fabricate new shower doors or bath enclosures to fit any space of your bathroom, all done in-house. And that's great for quality control. It could be a neo-angle shower stall, a corner enclosure, a bypass for your tub or shower, or a heavy 3/8-inch all-glass enclosure. Any idea you have, framed or frameless, we can handle it. And when you work with a family-owned company, the buck stops here, because we're not satisfied until you are. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Many of us struggle to lose weight. I use Milwaukee Weight Loss to lose the weight I've wanted to lose for a long time. And the great thing is I've kept it off now for over a year. Lost 45 pounds last year, another almost 10 pounds this year with the goal of losing maybe 10 more. For a limited time, get $200 off of their summer special. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. I can do it. You can do it. We can all do it. Let's lose weight together. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Sure, first pitch is important, but real Brewers fans know the real warm-up starts in the parking lot. Join us for WTMJ Day, the fan-focused tailgate before the Brewers game on Saturday, August 29th, presented by Big Fish Contracting and Woodman's, with catering by Left's Lucky Town. Text WTMJ to 855-616-1620 right now. WTMJ Day, before the Brewers game on Saturday, August 29th.
Traffic is sponsored by Mission 94 Firearms Education Center, centered in safety, anchored in history, designed for discovery.
From those with no experience to firearms enthusiasts, all are welcome at Mission 94 Firearms Education Center. Learn the right way to handle firearms. Just Google Mission 94.
3:45, traffic and then weather, and then Mark Murphy.
Okay. Southbound 41 backing up pretty heavily, too. It's solid, basically, from before Good Hope Road all the way past Capitol Drive. Northbound is backing up before Mayfair Road, and it's going to stay solid all the way up past Silver Spring. Westbound 94, you got backups from about 30th Street all the way to Hawley Road, back on the brakes just west of Highway 100 to Calhoun. On the eastbound side, we've got delays from Highway 164 to Springdale, again past Barker Road, and then some more delays from just east of 68th Street to 27th. I'm Debbie Lozigo with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Here is your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Showers and storms likely to continue tonight. Windy, a low of 66. Tomorrow, early rain showers possible. Ends by the afternoon, a high of 72. Wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour tomorrow. Sunday, cloudy and breezy, a high of 72. Monday, mostly sunny, a high of 77. Tuesday, warmer and humid, a high of 80 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, we have light rain and it's 70 degrees.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast brought to you by Infinity Exteriors, your local experts for roofing, siding, and window projects.
3:46 on WTMJ. Mark Murphy is our former Packers president and CEO. And now, for about a year now, he has held the title Executive in Residence. I like that. At UW Green Bay for their athletics. Mr. Murphy, thank you for joining us.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thanks.
I appreciate
That's a fancy title, huh?
Isn't it? I love it. So you're leading an exciting new webinar series called The Evolution of American Football, and we're trying to get people to sign up for it. So it's very exciting. You go all the way back to the 1800s?
Yes, and that's back then, there wasn't an NFL, and football was very different. I think people will really be interested to kind of see the evolution of football, and there'll be a Packers theme to it throughout. But obviously, there were no Packers until 1919. But I think I'll learn a lot from the whole process too. It'll be fun.
So this is a webinar, right, Mr. Murphy, that people can sign up for? Like, what's the format? How does this work?
Yeah, the best thing, it's part of UWGB's continuing education program. I think last year we reached about 100,000 people, and it's obviously not limited to Green Bay or Wisconsin. It's the entire country. And best thing to do if they want to is to go onto the UWGB website, and that would have all the information there. But it's a great program, and it's lifelong learning is kind of the thought process, or the policy is. It's not just 4 years of high school, 4 years of college. Really, you can really learn and continue to grow as your life goes forward. And it's not just for retirees. I mean, it can be young kids, whoever has an interest in kind of the history of football. Really, it'll be 3 different classes, one a month, starting in the fall in September, October, and November, and kind of the history. I think there'll be a little bit. We'll have to have the Lambeau years, and then kind of the growth of football with and Lombardi obviously was a big part of that, and then the last part will be kind of the current day, and particularly with the dominance on TV with the NFL.
Go to uwgb.edu to sign up.
Yep.
There's a lot of talking about player development, and you also will explore rule changes. Which one stands out to you the most?
Oh, boy. Well, player development, you watch films from the 20s and 30s. It was a different game then. Not a lot of passing, but players. It's amazing what players nowadays can do. So there'll be a real mix. The rule changes. So many over the years. You look at them, were all health and safety related. Making sure. I mean, there were, and of course, the equipment back in the early days leather helmets did not provide a lot of protection. And, so that's something that I've really enjoyed during my time with the Packers. I was pretty involved in the competition committee, which, really oversees all the rules. And really the vast majority of things that we discussed were not only to make the game better and more exciting, but most importantly, to make it safer.
So which rule right now should we get rid of? Which rule do we need to change or kick to the curb in today's NFL?
Oh, geez, I don't know. We spent a lot of time on, pass interference, but I don't know. I think the league's in a pretty good place now. The popularity is off the charts, and you want to have everything decided on the field.
What about the tush push?
Oh,
that's a good call. Are you? I think the only people in favor would be Eagles fans.
Yes. Yes.
My last year, I got slaughtered in Philadelphia because I felt that the tush push. I don't think it's a rugby play, not a football.
Yes.
Okay, so the Lambeau leap and everything.
We didn't have the votes, unfortunately.
We're with you though. You're on the right side of this one, Mark.
So we have the Lambeau leap and celebrating. Do you think that maybe we should get rid of people over celebrating and getting fouled or called out?
Like taunting,
I like it.
Yeah, I think obviously the Lambeau leap is great, and I think it's connecting the players with the fans. But when it's the taunting, obviously I think should be penalized, and when the celebration is really all about the player and himself rather than celebrating with teammates or fans, I think that's where you kind of cross over. Those are tough calls though for the officials, especially just scored a touchdown. There's a lot of excitement. Sometimes players kind of get a little emotional and forget about what the rules might be.
Former Packers president and CEO Mark Murphy is with us. A very cool webinar series he's got going on at UWGB. Training camp this week. What do you miss most about being in the building and being at the practice field during this time of year?
I really miss the interaction with the players as well as coaches. And with training camp, usually the month and a half before that, there's nobody around, and so then when the players and everybody comes back, it's pretty special here. In terms of the Packers training camp. So many of the other teams, you maybe just get a few people to come to practice. It's amazing. You get thousands to come watch our practices, and really, I think the players really enjoy that too. It brings a lot of energy.
Ed Policy, your successor, recently said that Lambeau Field will never be renamed. You said, I know the same thing, I think, during your tenure. My question is, were there ever discussions about naming rights for Lambeau as you look to explore revenue streams and everything's on the table? Were there ever discussions about that possibility?
No. Lambeau Field is the best asset the Packers have. And, making a few $1 million a year is not worth changing or ruining what's an iconic stadium and revered across the league and in all professional sports.
So at the meetings, you were the guy in charge. You represented the Packers. You went to these meetings and sat next to all those fat cats like the dude down in Dallas and all those other guys. Without that fat cat owner, does it put the Packers at any competitive or financial disadvantage?
I think that there's trade-offs. I think when you weigh the positives and the negatives, I think it's clearly, in my mind, the positives outweigh the negatives. Best thing about us is, our fans have a connection to the team that fans of, other teams in the NFL don't have, because they're owners, they're shareholders. And we see that. Obviously, we sell out Lambeau Field, but one of the most exciting things for me during my tenure was when our fans would take over away stadiums when we're on the road, and they travel well, and it's a huge advantage for us.
Mr. Murphy, can you explain the psychology behind why we don't know Coach LaFleur's contract term length? or the GM? Because I wanted to know, and they're not releasing that information.
Boy, if I were president, it was. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, I hired Matt. I think the world of him. And, he's had a tremendous run, and really happy for him. And it's really a club policy. Not to use the word policy too much, but I think Ed was, and probably it's something Matt wants to. The salaries. Obviously, for coaches are high, and I think he'd just prefer not to have that public information.
How many pieces?
But he is. I will assure you, he is well compensated, and he deserves it.
We don't need to worry about him.
Yeah.
No,
he's
how many pieces of Packers clothing do you have?
Oh.
Add up the closet and the dresser drawers. How many pieces?
That is all right. I'm going to say close to 100.
Wow.
17 years. Well, and then you also, a lot of people think, oh, well, I'll get them Packer gear stuff for Christmas. Or for
oh, boy. Mr. Murphy, do you get free Packers tickets for life now?
No, I do not. In fact,
what?
Yep.
We got to take care of that.
I could go sit in the executive committee suite, but my wife and I decided we have our own suite. That we pay for, and it's kind of a nice way to bring a lot of our friends and family together during the season.
So this amazing webinar is a 3-part webinar. There's one in September, October, November. It's really cool. The evolution of American football. A lot of stuff in there about the Packers, and the guy leading it is Mark Murphy, the former Packers president and CEO of the Packers. UWGB.edu. I think, is that the website, the easiest place to get the information?
Correct.
UWGB.edu.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mark, thank you so much.
You're welcome. UWGB, it's, I think, 100,000 people last year in this program, and they just do so many great things in the community, and I'm really pleased to have a role as executive in residence with UWGB.
Glad you're still part of it. Yeah, part of our city.
Have a great weekend.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks. Take care.
We're sponsored by Diversified Wealth Strategies. Your life, your goals. Visit dwstrategies.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Many people feeling close to retirement ask themselves, do I have enough?
Am I missing something?
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, we provide clarity during our complimentary, no-pressure consultation. We're independent advisors using big firm tools with a boutique-style approach.
And no crickets. We stay in touch so you're never left wondering.
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, let us show you how to capture the upside, limit the downside, and feel good inside.
Visit dwstrategies.com.
Securities and investment services offered through Mosaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
Hey, baseball fans. When the game's over, keep the fun of the season going at the award-winning Lake Lawn Resort on beautiful Delavan Lake. Trade the bleachers for the shoreline and the always-on-the-go schedule for total lakeside relaxation. Celebrate your own MVP moments with waterfront dining, golf, relaxing spa escapes, and family fun all season long. Just a short drive from Milwaukee, it's your home run getaway. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com and come find out for yourself why everything is better at the lake.
Connect Chiropractic. I was there yesterday. My lower back's been bothering me, and guess what? It's not bothering me today. It's fantastic. Connect Chiropractic. I love that it's nuanced and focused, and I also love that they use imaging several times a year that can actually tell how my back and the muscles related to my spine are doing. They don't just treat the symptoms at Connect Chiropractic. They focus on the root cause. Their doctors are the best in the business. Multiple locations. They are in Oak Creek, Delafield, and Wauwatosa. It's Connect Chiropractic. Connect with Connect.
Access Legal is now Pivot Work Injury Law, a new name that better reflects our sole focus on helping Wisconsin's injured workers. We have the same mission, the same team, and the same dedication to helping those hurt at work. Our team has handled thousands of cases, recovered more than $50 million for Wisconsin's injured workers, and remains committed to fighting for the benefits you deserve. If work has taken a toll on your body or your quality of life, turn to the team you already know and trust. Visit pivotworkinjurylaw.com today.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. It's been more than 3 years, and I'm telling you, my garage doors from J.D. Griffiths still look brand new. They pop. J.D. Griffiths has been installing garage doors and building detached garages for decades. And right now, J.D. Griffiths wants to do something for you. The first 10 people to go to the website and mention WTMJ can get $100 off a garage renovation, $100 off a new door, or $500 toward a new garage build. Go to jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ right now.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Next stop, the City of Angels, where the crew is looking to raise a little hell.
And are always capable of rolling up a double play. The pitch, ground ball, second base. Terang, Fields, flips to Pratt for one. On to first in time. Ask and ye shall receive.
The Brewers head to L.A. to take on the Angels. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 8. Don't miss a pitch on the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
I'm John Mercure. Your top story: cleanup continues across the Fox Valley.
I'm Julia Fellow. A former city attorney found guilty.
I'm Debbie Lazago. Wet roads out there causing some slower speeds. And remember, if you do have your wipers on, you got to have your headlights on. It's your best way for you to remember. That is the law. You got to have the lights on. A crash on the ramp from Beecher to 4394 southbound. So watch out for that. Another one northbound 4394, just north of Howard Avenue on the left shoulder. Westbound 94 itself is backing up through the stadium from 35th Street to Hawley Road. And again, from about Sunny Slope Road all the way past Calhoun to Barker Road, and a little bit more of a delay heading right past Highway F. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Showers and storms continue tonight, a low of 66 degrees and windy. Tomorrow, early rain, a high of 72 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the National Guard is in the Fox Valley, helping with recovery efforts after Monday's EF3 tornado. City of Menasha Community Development Director Andrew Dane tells Wisconsin's Midday News they're doing more than just helping remove debris.
They're assisting with traffic control, helping monitor some of the access closure points. We're really trying to obviously stress to folks not to come into these heavily impacted areas unless you're in some sort of official volunteer capacity.
A 10 p.m. curfew, a boil water advisory, and a burn ban also remain in place for Menasha, Neenah, and Fox Crossing.
If you were affected by severe storms from the spring and flooding, there's still time left to apply for federal disaster assistance. The deadline for SBA disaster loans with FEMA is August 31st. So far, more than $44 million has been approved for about 16,000 people across our state impacted by April storms.
He's guilty. Former City of Milwaukee City Attorney Tierman Spencer found guilty of misconduct after he directed his staff to help him and a property owner avoid paying thousands of dollars in fees, repairs, and permits on a property he used to store cars. Spencer could be sentenced to 4 years in prison. He'll be
violate child age restrictions, and it builds upon our action last year prohibiting the sale of intoxicating hemp-derived THC products to anyone under the age of 21.
The fine now matches the top penalties allowed under state law.
A 13-year-old girl remains in the hospital after an ATV crash in the town of Rhine on Thursday. Elkhart Lake police say the girl was thrown from an ATV after it rolled over and rolled on top of her. Flight for Life was called. She was taken by air transport to Children's Hospital Milwaukee. Investigators say she was not wearing a helmet and speed was not a factor.
Ransom notes in the case of Nancy Guthrie has been released to try to reinvigorate the search for the missing woman. And Pima County Sheriff's Department is looking into the case, asking for the public's help.
The first note saying, "We have your mother, Nancy. She is safe but scared." And it goes on to ask for $4 million in Bitcoin. There was another note that came in on February 6th. A Guthrie family, we did not fully grasp the seriousness of her physical condition. We never intended to harm her. She perished shortly after she was taken. We believe it was heart-related. She is buried in nature now. Nothing you could have done could have changed the outcome. We want your family to know this, and we hope you can all find peace. We are truly sorry.
That was ABC's Alex Stone. Nancy Guthrie has been missing since February 1st.
Coming up, palm trees and cool breezes for the Brewers.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time for.
Have you ever wondered if you're giving the right way? Maybe you want to support a charity that's important to you, but you're not sure how it fits into your estate plan or what it means for your family's future. Join Annex Wealth Management for a free webinar, More Giving, Less Guessing. Here from me, yours truly, Steve Scavidi, and CEO Dave Spano, estate planning attorney Alec Durand, as we share practical strategies to help you give with confidence and create the legacy you envision. Reserve your free spot today at annexwealth.com/events. That's annexwealth.com/events.
Son, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And eat pizza.
Preferably a Marty's Pizza, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, we do everything we can to keep the prices low. We're a family-run business, and many of our employees have families. I want to make sure that as tight as it gets, a growing family can always afford to enjoy a Marty's Pizza.
Marty's Pizza in Delafield.
And martyspizza.net for easy online ordering.
Register online for Red Card Loyalty, and after 15 pizzas, you'll get your next one free!
Marty's Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember Marty's Pizza.
Keeping you updated on culture and creativity. What's on Tap with Sandy Max.
In the studio with the co-directors of the new documentary, simply titled Uke.
It's combining my two great loves of baseball and dreaming of being a baseball player someday and becoming a filmmaker, and somehow the two worlds have collided.
Now that they know what he was going through, it'll just make his fans love him even more.
Weeknights at 6 on WTMJ and the What's on Tap podcast on WTMJ.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Tucker Kraft is back. The Packers star tight end was activated off the physically unable to perform list this week and was at morning practice with teammates today. Today's return to the practice field marked the first on-field work for Kraft after he tore his ACL on November 2nd. Kraft says he plans on being a full go for the Packers season opener against the Vikings on September 13th. In other NFL news, CBS analyst Tony Romo is out. Former Wisconsin Badger and Wisconsin native J.J. Watt is in. CBS announcing that Romo has been put on indefinite leave following his arrest for alleged OWI in Milwaukee. And here on WTMJ tonight, it's the return of Brewers baseball. The Crew out west taking on the Los Angeles Angels. Coverage on WTMJ starts at 8 o'clock right here.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time 408.
This report is brought to you by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
Energy efficient, easier to clean, amazing insulation, and just fantastic windows. Siding Unlimited has proven to be the choice for windows and doors. This is Eric Brown with Aaron Brown. We're brothers and owners of our family business, Siding Unlimited.
We figured out long ago that the right product installed the right way delivers the best experience for our customers. For 32 years, our experience shows on every job.
32 years, and Siding Unlimited continues to lead the industry. The secret, and Aaron just said it, our experience. From start to finish, the Siding Unlimited team knows how to deliver for our customers a quality window and door install.
Trust the local, family-operated Siding Unlimited to be the company of choice for your next window project. Proven to be the best by earning Pella's prestigious Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times.
Siding Unlimited. Experience, integrity, craftsmanship. Call Siding Unlimited at 262-567-4513 or visit sidingunlimited.com today.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
All right, thanks for joining us on this Friday. A devastating school fire is serving as a stress test for an already financially strained Milwaukee Public School District and raises questions about the safety of Milwaukee's aging school buildings. This week, Wisconsin's afternoon news went in-depth on Lincoln Avenue School. WTMJ's Adam Roberts with more on where we are.
Lincoln Avenue School is on fire.
It took just a matter of hours in the early morning of June 30th for the majority of Lincoln Avenue School, which stood on Milwaukee's south side for more than a century, to be crumbled under flames to a total loss. Now, with just over a month to go until the new academic year, hundreds of students, teachers, and staff who attended Lincoln face a long list of questions, including how long they'll be learning and working alongside fellow students and teachers at nearby Pulaski High School. What's unquestionable is that the building, which first opened in 1917, was not equipped with a sprinkler system that could have slowed the fire's progress down. It's an issue that bothers Milwaukee Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky, and has for years. He, along with other city leaders, have advocated for updated sprinkler ordinances to cover buildings both young and old.
I cannot stress the importance of having sprinklers in buildings, whether the building is built tomorrow, or 10 years ago, or 25 years ago. We've got to get serious about the sprinklers.
MPS Interim Deputy Superintendent Michael Harris admits most district schools aren't equipped with the sprinklers given their advanced age.
Almost 90% of our buildings were built before there was a requirement.
And when asked after the Lincoln fire whether the district plans to change that statistic, Interim COO Michael Terza said it would likely have to compete with a constantly growing list of capital needs within MPS.
It's a question of our ability to fund them. I mean, to put a sprinkler system will be multi-million dollars per building. And so given all of our other facility needs, it's just part of the overall picture for us.
While planning what comes next for Lincoln Avenue families and employees at a recent community meeting, Superintendent Dr. Brenda Cassellius emphasized the role parental feedback will play in long-term decision-making, acknowledging the sorrow many are feeling with the loss of the neighborhood pillar that was Lincoln Avenue School.
What we want to do is make sure we wrap our arms around our students and our families and our entire community, and everybody feels valued and that they have a voice in the next steps for the community.
Whatever the feedback, Cassellius faces difficult decisions over the future of the Lincoln site, with at least a half dozen other MPS schools already earmarked for potential consolidation or closure before the fire. For now, Cassellius is preaching patience.
I hope that you feel a big hug from Milwaukee Public Schools as we've gone through this tragedy.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Okay, so we did a whole hour with some really, really compelling stuff. We talked to the police chief, Aaron Lipsky. You heard Aaron allude there to the fact that there are no sprinklers. And we had a long sit-down interview on video with Brenda Cassellius, the superintendent, to get all of that stuff, plus a great script, an in-depth look at the issue that Julia put together. Text the word school to 855-616-1620. Lots of loose ends on that story. There's lots of interesting stuff.
We also interviewed a principal and teacher as well at Lincoln Avenue.
Text school to 855-616-1620. All right, Debbie helps get you home through this really dicey, rainy, yucky weather out there. We'll do that up next. And then Sandy Max, the host of What's on Tap, had a very cool interview with Gary Sinise. Why is Gary Sinise coming back to Milwaukee? Sandy with us live in the studio up next.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Hey, reminder, it is summer storm season, and weather damage can be a real issue at the house. So if you think you've got a problem, remember, Tri-County Contracting gives free estimates on any potential wind or hail damage. And here's the best part, they can always work directly with your insurance. It's TriCountyContractingWI.com. Love your home again, even during the storm season, with Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
If you missed this.
So crazy. They were up by so much that Jackson Churio, who's a righty, came up to the dish and decided, you know what? I've never done this before. I'm going to try it from the other side.
Jackson Churio batting left-handed, smokes one out to center.
Or this.
A little more than 300 people lined up to get a moment with The Miz for a special ball signing. Take a look at my ball.
Ooh, that's really, really
I
sweet.
know.
Catch up on the Wisconsin's Afternoon News podcast wherever you stream. Sponsored by Diversified Wealth Strategies.
Traffic is sponsored by the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association, supporting communities and residents through advocacy, education, and service. Where you live matters. Get the answers you and your family need about assisted living in Wisconsin. Start with clear, trusted guidance by visiting whereyouLiveMatters.org today.
All right, Sandy Max on Gary Sinise coming up right after Debbie helps get you home. Good afternoon, Deb.
Good afternoon. We do have some delays along southbound 41 starting at Good Hope Road. There's a crash on the ramp from Hampton as well to southbound 41. Stays heavy past Capitol Drive. Northbound from Mayfair Road pretty much all the way up to Hampton. Southbound 43 backing up just a bit from Good Hope Road to Bender, and then from Hampton down through the Marquette all the way to about Lapham. On the northbound side, we do have delays through the Marquette up to about Keefe. And then westbound 94, lots of company there from 35th Street to Holly Road, and then from Sunny Slope Road to Calhoun. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, rain will continue an inch when it's all said and done for most of us, a low of 66 degrees. Another half inch of rain tomorrow during the first half of the day, a high of 72. Sunday, cloudy and breezy, a high of 72. On Monday, mostly sunny, a high of 77. And on Tuesday, warm and humid. We start the build-up once again. It's a high of 80 degrees. Texter just had a really good point. John, please don't say yucky weather. We need the rain so badly. You're right, Janet.
Saying how great it is. He's been celebrating.
Yeah, most of the time I've been celebrating,
I didn't even
and you are
notice you
right.
say that.
Let's go rain. It is 4:17 at WTMJ. This is so cool. Gary Sinise, who celebrates our veterans all the time. He's an accomplished actor, author, producer, all-around humanitarian guy. Sandy Max, the host of What's on Tap, has had the chance to spend a lot of time with Gary Sinise, and he's coming back to Milwaukee, and it's very cool. And Sandy's with us in the studio. Hey, Sandy.
How are you?
Excellent.
You forgot to mention he's a bass player.
Yes, he is, and his band is cool.
Yeah, Gary Sinise was in Milwaukee last summer for Skylight Rocks with his Lieutenant Dan band, and it was a benefit for Skylight Music Theater because he goes way back with the artistic director, Michael Unger, there, and came to town. It was a real party. And now he is coming back for an incredibly special musical performance, this time not with the Lieutenant Dan Band, more the kind of music you just heard. He is coming back to world premiere a show called Graceful Warrior, and it will be a live musical performance with him on stage narrating and taking you through the music that his son, Mac Sinise, composed and created. And Mac, his son, passed away from a horrible, extremely rare form of spinal cancer called chordoma. And he has been grieving that since January of 2024 when Mac passed away. And Gary Sinise creating this Graceful Warrior concert has been a way for him to process those feelings, but also rediscover this really creative side of his son, Mac, because just before Mac Sinise passed away, he wanted to make music again. And so recorded an album, produced it. It was really magical. And I'll be darned if the week that the album came out, that's when Mac Sinise passed away.
Wow.
So it's kind of that spiritual baton, and that entire journey of the cancer diagnosis and that entire process that lasted over 5 years was just, as you can imagine, very harrowing. And as another way for an author like Gary Sinise, in addition to acting and playing music to cope, he has written a book called Graceful Warrior. And the book will come out in November, on November 10th, which would have been Mac's 36th birthday. That's how young his son was, dealing with all this cancer. So what a wonderful way to chat. I mean, if you have to go through something like that, the death of your child, at least something comes of it. beautiful art, beautiful art that can be shared, that can bring people together. So Gary Sinise, just unstoppable. He's a ray of light and positivity. So to get to talk with him, I wound up Zooming with him for half an hour.
Oh my gosh, you had 30 minutes? That's amazing.
With him, but it was beautiful. Like he was truly sharing his son's journey and then creating this music. And then, of course, we talked music and other things, but I asked him about him coming to Milwaukee last year, and he hung out with a friend of yours, John Mercure.
Who's that?
Janine Sajan.
Oh my gosh, one of my favorite people.
So this is when I said, hey, what'd you do here last summer in Milwaukee that you enjoyed? And this is a really nice moment from Gary Sinise.
I've known Janine for a while. I was privileged to receive an award from her, the Sajan Award, and Lance was a Medal of Honor recipient, and his story is just amazing. So receiving an honor in his name was very humbling, and I was able to, while I was there, go out with Janine to see the beautiful tribute to Lance in Milwaukee. It was a wonderful thing to be able to do.
So,
wow.
How about that?
That's really cool. He loves our veterans. The respect he has for our men and women that wear the flag is amazing.
Well, one of the reasons that he wants to world premiere these two shows here at Skylight Music Theater is because his relationship with Michael Unger goes way back to right when he founded Steppenwolf Theater in Chicago. So that's how far back they go. That's knocking on 4 or 5 decades. That's how long that friendship has been around. But he knew that Skylight would understand and treat this in the right way. And to come back here to start this new creative journey is really special. And Janine's planning on being there. He told me he talked to her.
That's fantastic.
And maybe this is a healing process for everyone, including him.
You know what? He did mention that, and because it was we were talking about that, and I asked him, because this certainly sounds like it could be heavy, but he says it's much more hopeful than mournful.
I really do hope people are lifted. I hope that folks who may be going through difficult challenges themselves with these kinds of things somehow find hope and courage and strength. In my sharing the story and Mac's story, telling stories, that's how we survive,
I mean, so he is just so sincere, such a genuinely good guy. And at Skylight Music Theater, yet another thing he does, he, through the Gary Sinise Foundation, has Veterans Nights. So every single production at Skylight Music Theater, there are a group of veterans who get together for a free dinner and a free show.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's amazing.
That's been a program that Gary Sinise has done, I think, even since the 1980s. So that's how dedicated and loyal he is. So connect with him. He will be back in Milwaukee. The show dates are August 28th and 29th at the beautiful Skylight Music Theater and that beautiful Cabot Theater. A 35-piece orchestra, and he is hiring local musicians to play his son's music. It'll be about 15, 16 songs. And we have a YouTube video if you want to see it. If you keyword Gary, Gary, keyword Gary to the Siding Unlimited, WTMJ Talk and text line 855-616-1620. Text Gary to 855-616-1620. It is a wonderful, nice, meaningful conversation. I mean, you'll see just what a genuine guy Gary Sinise is. But here's really a unique part of the story. You will see Gary's son's iPhone in that video. Why is that important? Well, I told you that Mac produced and created one album.
Right.
Well, there are 3 albums because after Mac passed away, Gary's going through his technology, going through his phone, found 2 more albums worth of music.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine hearing your son singing into a phone and pulling these little clips and created all of this music?
Wow.
And you have to, it doesn't kind of give you goosebumps? It's like,
Absolutely.
Can you imagine being a father and finding that?
That's so powerful.
And reconnecting with his circle of friends and creating this music. And there's a funny part in the video where he's like, I'm a musician. I know good music. This is not just a biased father. So,
and he does.
Yeah, he
okay,
really
so
does.
this is so cool. The concert is August 28th and 29th at the Skylight Music Theater. You got to be part of this. August 28th and 29th. When can we hear more of Gary? What are you doing with your Gary stuff?
I aired him last night on What's on Tap, so that's a podcast now. But
Excellent.
honestly, text the word Gary and enjoy the YouTube because that's the full conversation. And he's just such a good person. And there are also meet and greet opportunities as part of Graceful Warrior, these concerts. But the idea really is if we really embrace this here, he wants to take this Graceful Warrior concert around the country, even around the world.
I love it. So text the word Gary. You can hear the interview with all the perspective. I'm going to do that. Text the word Gary to 855-616-1620 and check out the Skylight Music Theater website for the details on the concert, August 28th and 29th.
Graceful Warrior. What a gift Gary Sinise is, and I'm so glad we get to welcome him back.
This is so cool. Sandy Max is the host of What's on Tap. Thanks for being with us. Happy Friday, Sandy.
See you at 6.
It is 4:25 at WTMJ. Let's check the markets really quick. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Another good day. The NASDAQ up 252, that's 1%. The Dow up 277, that's 0.5%. The S&P 500 today was up 52 points. That's almost 0.75%. It is 4:25.
When you run a team, you want great uniforms, and you know selling spiritware is vital. That's why Burkhart Sporting Goods will create a free custom website for you to sell your families and players the coolest spiritwear from Nike and Under Armour, as well as the basics, while helping you fundraise at the same time. We take the hassle out of coordinating your team's apparel and make shopping and buying easy. So when you need awesome spiritwear and uniforms for your organization, you can't beat Burkhart.
You can't beat Burkhart.
Hey, Croatia in October 2027. Check it out. It's an incredible trip that we've crafted with Colette. They are quite simply the best in the business. Croatia and its islands, including a 7-night private yacht cruise through those islands along the coast. Also, picturesque Slovenia. This is an incredible, incredible itinerary we've crafted. The perfect combination of history and time to relax on that beautiful ship. The sun-soaked coastal town of Split, leisurely cruising along the dramatic Dalmatian coastline, and we'll walk among the awe-inspiring locations where some of the world's most famous movies have been filmed. Let me get you the information. We're having a meeting coming up August 11th. I'd love for you to be there. I'll be there. Colette will be there. It's free. Come get the information. August 11th, 6:30. It's free, but you need to RSVP. Reach out to me, John at WTMJ.com. John at WTMJ.com. I'll send you the itinerary, the beautiful color brochure, pricing, and information on the August 11th meeting. Croatia, October 2027. Come get more information on August 11th. Want all of that info? John at WTMJ.com.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vetrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery, like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
It's the most wonderful time of year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, and more at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
Academic Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
Don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval. Get the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as better than the rest. The rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet. Get yours by clicking on the blue button at ACCUNET.com.
When I shop, no matter what I'm shopping for, I shop for value. WTMJ's John Mercure here, and also quality. You get that at Milwaukee's Otto's Wine and Spirits, serving Milwaukee since 1945, employee-owned. They've got the best price and selection when it comes to wine, when it comes to spirits, when it comes to beer and seltzer. It's Otto's Wine and Spirits. You've driven by the many locations. Stop in and visit one. My store is Menominee Falls, also Elm Grove, Brown Deer, Cedarburg, and Milwaukee. They are the best value. They're Wisconsin strong. It's Otto's.
Summer is the time to enjoy the outside. Enjoy the deck, the patio, the fire pit, the shade, the screen room, the in-ground pool. Enjoy all of it in your own backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's top TimberTech decking installer and can deliver a design and build your next maintenance-free deck with a custom screen room and automated pergola. Stop by our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha or visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
In an instant, an injury can change your plans, your paycheck, your peace of mind. But the bills don't stop. The calls don't stop. The worry won't stop. Experience and results matter. After 4 decades of fighting for injured people, we know how to win. Because you deserve respect, results, and to move forward. We fight for what's fair so you can get back to what matters most. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
See Europe from a completely new perspective with Fox World Travel and Avalon Waterways. Cruising down legendary rivers like the Danube or the Rhine, your luxury boutique hotel travels with you. Relax in award-winning panorama suites featuring wall-to-wall windows, enjoy premium local wine and dining, and step off directly into the heart of historic castles and villages. Your next incredible river cruise awaits. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com today.
Not all roofing contractors are created equal, and homeowners know the difference. Ridgetop Exteriors has been the local, trusted choice since 2002. Upfront pricing, expert crews, manufacturer-backed warranties, and over 40,000 completed projects backed by thousands of five-star reviews from your neighbors. No surprises, no runarounds, just honest work from people who live and work right here in our community. Call Ridgetop Exteriors for a free estimate. Ridgetop Exteriors, the easy choice for your home.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox & Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox & Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, a former city attorney facing possible prison time.
I'm Julia Fellow. A brand new home at the push of a button.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Looks like we've got delays heading through the Hale Interchange. Southbound on 894, backing up before Beloit Road, down and around the Hale Interchange all the way to 76th Street. On the westbound side of 894, backing up just past the Mitchell Interchange to Loomis. Southbound 43, hefty ride from Good Hope Road to Bender and back on the brakes just south of Hampton, all the way down through the Marquette to about Lapham. Northbound slowing down from Lincoln all the way to Locust. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Showers and storms likely to continue into tonight. Very windy, lots of wind gusts, a low of 66. Still windy tomorrow, early rain showers ending by the afternoon, a high of 72. Right now, Milwaukee, we have light rain and it is 70 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a potential 4-year prison sentence. That's what former Milwaukee City Attorney Tierman Spencer's facing. A jury today found Spencer guilty of misconduct in office stemming from an incident in which he directed his staff to help him and a property owner avoid paying thousands of dollars in fines, fees, repairs, and permits on property he stored vehicles on. Spencer is set to be sentenced in September.
Inspections continue with the damage assessments across the Fox Valley after an EF3 tornado tore through the community Monday. Andrew Dane is the Community Development Director in Menasha. He tells Wisconsin's Midday News they've completed more than 260 inspections.
Over 40% of those inspections, the structures were either tagged with yellow or red cards, meaning there was either some pretty moderate to severe damage to total destruction of the structures.
To learn more about the recovery efforts, text the word tornado to the WTMJ Sighting Unlimited Talk and Text line at 855-616-1620.
An investigation continues into a fire at a duplex on Milwaukee's east side this morning. The Milwaukee Fire Department was called to the area of Holton and North about 8 o'clock, where they found the second floor of a duplex with flames shooting out the windows. Nobody was in the home at the time. No injuries have been reported.
President Donald Trump downplaying the threat of foreign interference after several water plants in Minnesota were targeted by cyber attacks. ABC's Christian Cordero.
Really what the president is doing, if you read between the lines, is also shrugging off the potential for Iran to have interfered. He's basically said that this is too small for them, that, they should be so lucky, is a direct quote from what he said earlier today. But what stands in contrast of that is just the fact that a lot of this intelligence is coming from his own departments. And so while the investigation is still really early on, there are some suggestions that this is coming from at least an Iranian-backed group.
The FBI is investigating the source of those attacks.
And on Capitol Hill, the president is battling a few of his fellow Republicans over his attorney general nominee, Todd Blanche. Texas Senator John Cornyn and North Carolina Senator Thom Tillis are holding up Blanche's nomination amid concerns about the president's IRS settlement. ABC's Jay O'Brien.
The president has said that the fund is dead, in his words, but also in the same breath he said, but he wants to find some form or fashion, some way of paying these political allies of his, including these January 6th rioters. And that's already gone over like a lead balloon with Thom Tillis, who posted today that that's exactly why he and Cornyn are taking this stand.
Blanche's nomination will not move from the Senate Judiciary Committee to a floor vote unless Cornyn and Tillis change their minds. The Senate is scheduled to go on summer recess next week.
An unprecedented border crisis erupted in a Spanish territory. Up to 60,000 migrants entered the area from Morocco, with at least 57 of them dying during their attempts to cross. Here's ABC News foreign correspondent Britt Clinette.
We know that tens of thousands have already gone back from Ceuta, some voluntarily, some under these bilateral agreements, but they are straining the makeshift centres that have been set up. You know, they have sent in the military to reinforce the border, requested emergency powers, and they are working with the Moroccan authorities too. But we are still seeing a stream of people cross that border.
The Spanish government says roughly half the migrants have returned to Morocco.
How would you feel about living in a 3D printed home? It's a growing industry with some big advantages compared to traditional buildings. News Nation's Nancy Liu.
3D printed homes are a big example of how the future is now. More of them going up every day, including here in Linda, California. And since much of this construction process is handled by a massive 3D printer, it only takes about 2.5 months to build an entire home. And unlike traditional homes framed out in wood, cement offers protection against termites, dry rot, water, and fire.
Concrete also improves energy efficiency with a construction cost that's far lower than traditional homes.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Day 3 of Packers training camp, bringing a welcome sight to practice field. Tight end Tucker Kraft, his first on-field practice since he tore his ACL last year. He was on limited participant on today's practice, but says he expects to be fully healthy for the team's season opener on September 13th. Former Wisconsin Badger and future NFL Hall of Famer J.J. Watt getting called up to broadcast for CBS. He's going to replace Tony Romo in the booth next to Jim Nantz to start the NFL season for now. Romo was put on indefinite leave from the network after he was pulled over on suspicion of drunk driving in Milwaukee last week. And here on WTMJ tonight, it's Brewers baseball. They're taking on the LA Angels. Coverage on WTMJ starts at 8 o'clock right here on WTMJ.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:37. Sponsored by Diversified Wealth Strategies. Your life, your goals. Visit dwstrategies.com.
Many people feeling close to retirement ask themselves, do I have enough?
Am I missing something?
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, we provide clarity during our complimentary, no-pressure consultation. We're independent advisors using big firm tools with a boutique-style approach.
And no crickets. We stay in touch so you're never left wondering.
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, let us show you how to capture the upside, limit the downside, and feel good inside.
Visit dwstrategies.com.
Securities and investment services offered through Mosaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
You know that frustrating injury that just will not heal? Vince Vitrano for MD Hyperbaric. Your back, your ankle, your foot, your knee. Recovery after surgery. Doctor said give it time. Let it rest. But it's not getting better. MD Hyperbaric supports your body's natural healing process. I've done it myself. Treatments that reduce inflammation, speed recovery, and get you back to living life. No pills, no injections. Discover the healing power of oxygen under pressure. MDHyperbaric.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Latest on the governor's race coming up with Scott Ross. He'll be with us live in about 7 minutes. First, a tornado sweeps through the Fox Valley. The governor's race thins. Packers training camp begins and more. It's the Week in Review brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
The National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for eastern Fond du Lac County.
Oh my God, we're in a tornado!
Swept through Appleton, the city of Menasha, and the village of Fox Crossing in Winnebago County.
We're unsure of how bad the damage is because many roads in those same areas are impassable.
This will go down as one of the worst tornadoes in Wisconsin history.
The power is out everywhere. We've worked collaboratively to have shelters that are up and running to provide meals and water.
We've got a big debate tomorrow night, gentlemen.
why should Democratic primary voters choose candidate A, B, C, D, or E?
The governor cannot defund police.
I've been the candidate that has turned progressive ideas into law.
I'm not here to protect the establishment. I'm here to deliver real results for Wisconsinites.
They seemed like they were very respectful of each other.
I think respectful, not nice necessarily. I think they were...
Wow, they seemed like they liked each other.
Former Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes drops out of the gubernatorial race.
So sources have been telling me for a couple of days that there was a really nasty story or two that were about to drop for him.
I wasn't seeing a path for Barnes. It's clear who the party's nominee is going to be.
We are going further into the future of Lincoln Avenue School.
My biggest concern was, where are we going to go in September?
Quite honestly, our buildings in Milwaukee Public Schools, our liabilities, the average age of our building is 85 years.
If you want to survive in a building, be in a building that has functioning sprinklers.
Dr. Rand Paul questioning Dr. Anthony Fauci about the origins of the coronavirus.
Can you explain to the committee why you chose to fund this dangerous research in China?
Here I am sitting in front of you 6 years later saying, who the do you think you were for doing that?
I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
One of the quotes from Dr. Fauci back in 2020 was, if we do this right, all of this will look like an overreaction.
Yeah. This Meijer grocery store, a lot of chaos unfolding. And this, Michelle, happening at a very busy time for grocery shopping.
He's running throughout the store with a knife.
Shots fired, shots fired.
Based on the suspect's actions and immediate threat he posed, one officer discharged their firearm to stop the threat of the armed suspect.
Mizorowski, Jacob Mizorowski, a dozen strikeouts for Jacob Mizorowski.
Here's the secret to throwing 103 miles an hour.
Staying in my legs, I think that's the biggest thing to it. So
swinging and a miss, he strikes out, and that's the first career strikeout from Andrew Vaughn.
It's always fun when a position player gets to take the mound. That is when you know that, yep, it's over. We're not going to come back.
the home run derby, come on!
Training Camp Week. Thousands of shareholders gathering at Lambeau Field for the annual shareholders meeting.
They're stockholders, Bob. Who's helping them out? Lambeau Field, that's our office.
Here we are again with a kicking story that has developed.
At the kicker, there's no real competition. Now you got two guys that have never kicked in an NFL regular season game.
Where are you coming from?
The golf course.
Remember last week, former Dallas Cowboys quarterback and Burlington, Wisconsin native Tony Romo was arrested.
Any head injuries?
Over the years, yes, but not recently.
So obviously it's on a farm,
It
and
is.
you have a chicken coop involved, but why the name The Free Range Art Show?
Because the intention was to show in the coop. We added the granary later. You know, you got the scoop in the coop, or keep in the loop with the coop, you know, kind of.
What a week, eh?
What a week.
Big whiffer!
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
The Weekend Review brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Text WEEK, W-E-E-K, to the Siding Unlimited talk and text line 855-616-1620 to hear it again. Analysis on the week that was in the governor's race. Kind of chaotic. That's up next.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group, with over 40 years of experience saving businesses money. I want to speak to you small business owners and make a bold statement. I will bet you our team can put at least $25,000 in your pocket. Yes, you heard right, $25,000. We work closely with small businesses to help them use tax strategies and develop processes and procedures to make their business generate cash to keep in their pocket. My team and I have saved clients thousands of dollars by using our knowledge and experience to develop strategies tailored to your business. Would you like to see if you can do it? Your only cost is 33 minutes of your time. That's right, just 33 minutes, and who knows how much you can pocket. Remember, you earned it, we help you keep it. Call us at 414-325-2040 and ask the $25,000 question. That's 414-325-2040, or visit us at nealgroup.net. That's N-E-A-L group.net.
John Mercure here for Annex Wealth Management. Navigating the loss of a partner, whether through death, divorce, or a health crisis, can feel overwhelming. If you've never been responsible for managing the finances, it's natural to wonder, where do I begin? Who can help? Annex Wealth Management is here to support you with their continuing dedication, designed to inform, empower, and guide you through life's unexpected transitions. Meet some of the people who can help guide you on August 11th. This is a cool event. Join Annex for couples in retirement at the Oconomowoc Lake Club. Retirement is a major transition. Explore lifestyle, healthcare, and shared goals. Reserve your spot. This is cool. It's on August 11th at the Oconomowoc Lake Club. Go to annexwealth.com. Check out events. Annex, founded in southeast Wisconsin, offices located throughout the area. One's right near your neighborhood. I've been to Annex for a very long time, and I trust them. From early start portfolios to more advanced investment options, it's Annex. Know the difference? Click Get Started at annexwealth.com.
You know, I mean, your home is about as personal as it gets, right?
We want to build a relationship with homeowners, not only educating them, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us.
Yeah, the interview goes both ways. Mm-hmm. Getting to know people while also serving them. It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
Besides that, it's just the right thing to do. See how Big Fish Contracting is renovating homes and redeeming an industry at bigfishcontracting.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio.
At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Old-Fashioned Roofing and Appliance Gallery. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk.
Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
4:45, traffic and then weather. Debbie Loziga, how are the roads right now?
Well, we got a crash on the ramp from Hampton to southbound 41, so watch out for that. Delays coming in from before Good Hope Road all the way past Capitol Drive. Northbound's backed up from Mayfair Road to Hampton as well. Westbound 94, you've got backups from 35th Street to Hawley Road, back on the brakes passing from Moreland to Calhoun, and then from Brookfield Road pretty much all the way to Highway F. On the eastbound side, backing up from 164 past Highway F and again past Barker, and one more delay from 68th Street to 35th. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Here is your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Showers and storms continue and windy tonight, a low of 66. Tomorrow, early rain showers and it ends by afternoon, a high of 72. Very windy. Sunday, partly cloudy and breezy still, a high of 72. Monday, mostly sunny, a high of 77. Tuesday, warmer and more humid, a high of 80 degrees. Right now, Milwaukee, we have light rain and it is 70 degrees. 446 on WTMJ. We're taking a look at the race for Wisconsin governor, and now there are 4 Democratic candidates. We have Scott Ross. He's a powerful political strategist, former executive director of liberal advocacy group One Wisconsin Now, joining us on the Talk and Text line. Scott, thank you for joining us.
Well, it's so great to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you. So I'm looking at the latest Marquette poll. I know that it shows Mandela Barnes in this, and now he's out. He was at 16%. But Francesca Hong has such a big lead at 38%. I know that David Crowley, he just got a backing with Congresswoman Gwen Moore. Is that going to make any dent? Is there anyone that can beat Francesca Hong at this point?
I think that the writing is on the wall. Every single poll throughout this contest has shown Francesca Hong to be far ahead of the pack. And it feels like despite valiant efforts by, some really good opponents that she has, it seems like that Fran Hong is going to be the nominee for Democrats going into this November election.
Scott, I think it's very interesting because for 6 months, it seems like a lot of the experts have been trying to figure out who is the Hong voter, because all the other conservative traditional Democrats are voting for the other guys. It seems like now the Hong voter, who is that? It's Democrats in Wisconsin. Talk about the broad base of support. She continues to seem to expand.
Yeah, John, I think that primary elections, high-profile primary elections for either party tend to be a reflection of where that party is in time. I think in 2022, when Mandela Barnes was our nominee for U.S. Senate, he was meeting that time. It was after a lot of the, after some of the violence that it had, some of the police violence, some of the uprisings about racial strife in this country. And I think right now where we're at is, and I don't think this is just Democrats, but I think people have been looking at what has been going on in the federal government for the last 2 years, and they can't believe their eyes. They can't believe their ears over and over and over again. And one of the things that people are saying is, how can the president continue to do these things? How can Trump tear down half the White House? How can he create a $2 billion slush fund for January 6th terrorist insurrectionists? And they're saying, we need somebody who's going to fight back. And I think that's where Fran Hong has caught fire in the way that she is expressing herself, that they feel like she is somebody who is going to use her power in order to to try and stop what's going on. A lot of times Democrats will have power and they don't quite use it. But here in Wisconsin, we're in a good, if you're on the Democratic side, we're in a good position. Starting, the Supreme Court is controlled by the Democrats. We have governor is Democratic. The Attorney General is Democratic. The post, changing the maps, those margins have gotten together. So I think that's what it is. Again, we're not, Democrats aren't talking about winning all over the country because of something they're doing. They're talking about the fact that Republicans like, Donald Trump and Tom Tiffany in Washington, D.C. are going to have to invent new things to mess up. It's historic in terms of just how bad a performance they have. You only need to go to a gas station where gas prices are $4 and more, or go to the grocery store and have to take out basically a second mortgage to get the groceries for the week.
What do you think makes some Democrats worried about her being the front runner at this point?
Yeah, well, I know that, a lot of people have talked about, the socialist word, right? Democratic socialists. And the fact is, Julia, I've done this for almost 30 years, my God. And every time a Democrat wants to spend a penny that's not to tax cuts for rich people and corporations, Republicans call it socialism. They call.
But she used that word, Scott. She's used that word. She's identified with that word.
I understand that. But what I'm saying is we knew that they were going to call our side socialists. I mean, it took me 30 seconds to find a press release where Tom Tiffany called Joe Biden a socialist for the sin of putting infrastructure projects into the Twin Ports area and the Great Lakes. So I don't fear that, because when you're paying $4 for gasoline, you're looking at the party who's in control of things, and you're going to make them, be punished. It's not labels that are going to create this, cause her a problem.
Scott, polling shows that Tom Tiffany beats Francesca Hong. Polling showed that all the other candidates beat Tom Tiffany. Is that problematic?
Absolutely not, because here's the thing. If you're getting polled, John, right, and you're supporting candidate X, you're supporting candidate X, and they're like, who do you support in this race, this primary? Well, I support candidate X. And they're like, okay, do you think candidate Y can beat Tom Tiffany? What are you going to say? Well, man, the fact that she's within striking distance, just a few points of Tom Tiffany, in a very fractured, divided Democratic primary where they are fighting it out, fairly, cleanly, but they're all fighting it out. That's, once this primary is over, Democrats are going to come together. I said it before. When they start prosecuting the case against Tom Tiffany and Donald Trump, Democratic unity is going to be so high they're going to get nosebleeds.
Hey, Scott Ross is with us. Scott, I want to ask you about Mandela Barnes. I talked to two people today close to Mandela Barnes who are trying very hard to convince me that he only got out because the polling numbers showed he had no path. And what a weird coincidence. It happened at the same time, almost literally, that the Journal-Sentinel reported on personal issues related to Mandela Barnes. Is it believable that Mandela Barnes got out 10 days before the election as the guy in second place only because internal polling showed that he didn't have a path?
No, I'm guessing that it also had to do with the fundraising. That's why people get out of primaries. They get out of primaries usually because their fundraising isn't meeting what they need to in order to be able to communicate to do what they need to do, or they don't see that path to victory. And whether that story was happening or not, how Mandela Barnes was going to make up 20 points in the last, less than 2 weeks of this campaign is problematic. I don't know how it happens. And as far as the county executive goes, I don't see how that happens as well. So obviously bad story, not a story you want ever written about you, but I don't, I have trouble believing that in a environment where the president of the United States has 34 felonies against him and is adjudicated rapist according to the courts, that story was the thing that was going to get Mandela Barnes out of the race.
Apparently,
after he had been running for as long.
But I have a hard time believing it's a coincidence. There's no way that's a coincidence. That story drops. His team hires lawyers to try to squash it. They can't, and then he gets out of the race.
I mean, I think I'm not going to say that it didn't have anything to do with it, but I'm saying that I don't think that if you're just looking at the numbers, do you think that Mandela was going to prevail in the primary at this point, having seen that last Marquette poll?
Well, he was second, wasn't he?
Yeah, but to Scott's
20
point,
some points down.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
and not going in the right direction. It wasn't for him. It was not going in the right direction because he had been much closer to Hong in the last couple polls. So it just wasn't. The Democratic support is coalescing. And again, like, we're human beings, like, voters are human beings. And it's like, once you start seeing somebody, winning all the time and you're going to vote in that primary, well, I'm going to vote for the winner. I want to be the winner. I want to be on the winner's side.
Hey, is his political career over, Scott? Sure. Is Mandela Barnes' political career over?
I don't necessarily think that. I mean, who knows? I've seen rehabs many, many different times. So
there were some strange allegations. I mean, some that have not even been reported. And then he was talking about the Democratic establishment is trying to get the certain candidate through. And then we find out that the Democratic Party was investigating him for inappropriate conduct.
Very odd.
Wasn't that strange?
That's unfortunate for sure. But, those are, Mandela Barnes and the Democratic Party will have to answer for those things.
Scott Ross, we always appreciate you taking the time to be with us. We appreciate your perspective.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Scott,
Anytime.
have a good weekend.
You
it is
as well.
4:55 at WTMJ. By the way, if you want the other side of that conversation, we had Tom Tiffany on live yesterday. So check out the podcast, WAN. Text WAN to 855-616-1620. You'll hear Tom Tiffany, who doesn't agree with Scott Ross. You'll hear Scott Ross. And by the way, all the candidates for governor, if you text the word WAN to 855-616-1620.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
A Milwaukee-based law firm sues 5 administrators at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. The Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty alleges in its lawsuit that the school is continuing to use race as a factor in distributing scholarships and grants. Generac receives about $1 billion in orders from hyperscale data centers in the past 90 days, with more on the way. CEO Aaron Jagdfeld says the growth of that segment of the business is going to change the face of the company. Johnson Controls International raises its outlook for the year as surging demand for the data center cooling systems helped drive one of the strongest quarters in the company's recent history. For the third quarter, the company reported $6.6 billion in revenue, up 9% from a year earlier. I'm Linda Spice for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
You've seen us around town, volunteering, supporting events, and showing up where it matters. At Waterstone Bank, we're more than a bank. We're your neighbor. The money you deposit stays local, helping small businesses, creating jobs, and supporting home ownership. It's banking from the community for the community. Visit your local branch or WSBOnline.com to see how we're building a stronger southeastern Wisconsin, one neighbor at a time. Waterstone Bank, member FDIC.
Fridays are a great time for a cocktail, and I've got you covered on this one. Where you need to go for your shopping is a local place that's got great selection, great value. Otto's Wine and Spirits, many locations. I go to the one in Menominee Falls. They're in Milwaukee, Elm Grove, Brown Deer, Cedarburg. It's Otto's. They've got an incredible beer cooler, and they've got everything from the imports to the Miller Lite, all the Liney's products, summer shandy in bottles and cans. They've got the spirits, the seltzers and ciders, and guess what? Their wine experts are top tier. It's Otto's Wine and Spirits.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Transform your home today. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
Traffic is sponsored by Mission 94 Firearms Education Center. Centered in safety, anchored in history, designed for discovery.
From those with no experience to firearms enthusiasts, all are welcome at Mission 94 Firearms Education Center. Learn the right way to handle firearms. Just Google Mission 94.
Next stop, the City of Angels, where the crew is looking to raise a little hell.
Abner always capable of rolling up a double play. The pitch, ground ball, second base. Terang, Fields, flips to Pratt for one. On to first in time. Ask and ye shall receive.
The Brewers head to L.A. to take on the Angels. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 8. Don't miss a pitch on the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story, resolution in a week-long trial.
I'm Julia Fellow. Terror in a department store in Waukesha.
I'm Debbie Laziga, southbound on 41, backing up from about Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. On the northbound side, we've got backups from Mayfair Road to Silver Spring. Southbound 894 slowing down from about Oklahoma Avenue down and around the Hale interchange all the way to 60th Street. We've got the westbound side backing up out of the Mitchell interchange to about 51st. Southbound 43 slowing down from Good Hope to Bender and then from Capitol down through the Marquette. Westbound 94 tightening up right through the Stadium interchange to about Hawley Road. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, rain likely going to continue and windy, a low of 66 tonight. Tomorrow, more rain, about an inch and a half for most of us when it's all said and done. High of 72 tomorrow. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a guilty verdict against former Milwaukee City Attorney Tierman Spencer. Spencer on trial for misconduct in office after telling staff to help him and a fellow property owner avoid paying fees, permit costs, and other financial items at a place he used to store vehicles. Spencer was found guilty of misconduct in public office. He could be sent to prison for up to 4 years when he's sentenced in September.
Inspection teams are assessing the damage from the Fox Valley after an EF3 tornado tore through the community Monday. The community development director for the city of Menasha tells Wisconsin's Midday News they've completed more than 260 inspections so far.
Over 40% of those inspections, the structures were either tagged with yellow or red cards, meaning there was either some pretty moderate to severe damage to total destruction of the structures.
To learn more about the recovery efforts, text the word tornado to the WTMJ Sighting Limited Talk and Text line 855-616-1620.
If you were affected by this spring's severe storms and flooding, there's still time to apply for federal disaster assistance. The deadline to apply for FEMA aid and SBA disaster loans is August 31st. So far, $44 million has been approved for 16,000 people across southeast Wisconsin impacted by the storms.
President Donald Trump is standing by his choice for Attorney General Todd Blanche. News Nation's Tom Dempsey.
During the same hour of that cabinet meeting, Senator Tom Tillis, the other Republican senator, publicly raising concerns about the anti-weaponization fund, posted to X saying the criminals who assaulted police officers and defiled our nation's capital are not great American patriots who are victims of government abuse. Anyone who attacked law enforcement should still be in prison, not getting a check from the federal government.
The president is considering withdrawing Blanche's nomination until both Senators Cornyn and Tillis are out of office next year.
The former Beloit police chief has a new job. Andre Sales today was announced as Seattle's interim police chief after the sudden resignation of former Chief Sean Barnes. Barnes, who'd served as the police chief in Madison for several years, resigned after his department was criticized for its handling of a mass shooting outside of Seattle's Space Needle last week. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson.
I am grateful for his service, and I share his hope that we can return our full focus to what matters most right now, addressing youth gun violence and making sure that every family in this city can feel safe in their neighborhood.
Wilson says they'll conduct a nationwide search for a full-time chief.
A man accused of holding a 59-year-old hostage inside of a Meijer store in Waukesha remains in critical condition as of this afternoon. Police were called to the store along Sunset Drive yesterday night, where witnesses told them a man with a knife who had white makeup on his face was inside the store. Police found the suspect, demanded he drop the knife. When he didn't, they opened fire. Here's the Waukesha Police Chief, Dan Thompson.
Based on the suspect's actions and immediate threat he posed to the victim and the responding officers, one officer discharged their firearm to stop the threat of the armed suspect.
The 59-year-old held at knife point will be okay. One male officer with 5 years on the force was placed on administrative leave.
A rush of immigrants is pouring into Spain today. The Spanish government announcing that they're attempting to reverse the huge rush of more than 60,000 migrants making their way into the Spanish territory of Ceuta by way of Morocco. The Spanish government says it believes half of the migrants that made their way to Ceuta this week have since returned to their home country.
Coming up, Jordan Love's security blanket returns to the practice field.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:05.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Accident Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wicker, Chief Homebuyer Helper with Wisconsin's own Accident Mortgage. Nicer homes are still getting multiple offers over asking, and there's only one winner per listing. I want to help you be that winner, which is why I just increased the Rock Solid Pre-Approval Guarantee to $10,000. It's all about getting the seller to pick your offer over the others. So AccuNet is now guaranteeing in writing to pay the seller 10,000 American bucks if we can't make good on the terms of your fully verified Rock Solid Pre-Approval. Banks don't do that. We're willing to stand behind our work and stand behind you with a $10,000 guarantee that sellers will definitely notice. Maybe you've been writing offers and losing, which feels terrible, or maybe you're just starting out. Either way, don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval and let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Give the seller 10,000 reasons to say yes to your offer with AccuNet's new $10,000 Rock Solid Seller Guarantee. Get started with yours today at accunet.com.
You're invited to summer's biggest celebration. Join Wisconsin State Fair in celebrating 175 years of memories together. Get your tickets today at wistatefair.com. Wisconsin State Fair, presented by T-Mobile, August 6th through 16th.
Kessler's Diamonds. Kessler's Diamonds.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law offices. One call, that's all sports desk. An exciting day at Packers training camp today with tight end Tucker Kraft taken to the field for the first time since tearing his ACL during a game last November. Kraft was removed from the physically unable to perform list today and was a partial participant in camp. He says he's aiming to be fully healthy by the time the regular season begins on September 13th. Tony Romo is out, at least for now. J.J. Watt is in. Watt named as Romo's temporary replacement as the lead NFL analyst for CBS for the start of the upcoming season. Romo was put on leave by the network after he was pulled over in Milwaukee on suspicion of driving while intoxicated. And here on WTMJ, tonight it's the return of Brewers baseball. The Crew in Los Angeles taking on the Angels. Coverage starts at 8 o'clock here on WTMJ.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:08.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know you can't cook. You're not one of those people who say that they can, but when people come over for dinner, they find out the hard way, you can't. You can't even microwave popcorn, and that's literally just one button. Plus, measuring and patience are huge parts of cooking, and that's just not you. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Pricing coverage match limited by state law.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
Hey, Packers training camp is underway. Jason Wilde, our Packers insider, joins us coming up at 5:15.
And Mark Murphy.
And Mark Murphy at 5:45. That's pretty cool. He's got a cool project that he's working on. But first, let's do this.
This is the 5 o'clock focus on Wisconsin's afternoon news.
This is what I want to focus on. Every 6 minutes, okay, someone is diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in the U.S. That's 90,000 people in our country alone. To put that number into perspective, you can fill AmFam Field more than 2 times over. It does not discriminate by race, class, sex, or social status, nothing. And just this week, we saw another perspective of that. Former Packers great announced he was diagnosed last year, Ahman Green, the all-time Packers leading rusher. Now, Green is 49. He had 8,322 yards amassed from 2000 to 2009, scoring 54 touchdowns in that stretch for the Packers. Said his symptoms now include feet twitching and poor short-term memory. He said he's paid strict attention to his diet to remain healthy at this time. Something really interesting to me is that Parkinson's disease is among 6 neurodegenerative diagnoses that's covered in the NFL's landmark concussion settlement.
Interesting.
Which took effect in 2017. It joins ALS, Alzheimer's, and different levels of dementia. The settlement compels the NFL to offer payouts to retired NFL players, that includes Ahman Green, experiencing any of those illnesses, the result of the league concealing long-term risks of concussions from its players. There's also a study that was released from Boston University and the Concussions and CTE Foundation. They revealed that NFL players are 4 times more likely than the general population to die of neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's or dementia. A study that followed nearly 20,000 athletes who played in the NFL from the 1960s to 2019. Now, Green was in an interview with a podcast recently. He says his short-term memory now is, quote, trash. He said, I have to remind myself of things. When I meet somebody for the first time, like a name, I hear that name. I say it out loud. I repeat it. I write it down even. And if I don't, I have to follow up with them and ask them over and over and over. How did he spot it? He said his doctor spotted it the way that my husband was spotted with Parkinson's disease. My husband also has young onset Parkinson's disease. And it was his walking gait that he had stiffness on one side of his body. So I thought that was very interesting.
Same thing with Ahman. That's how they both.
That he had stiffness on one side. Now, my husband never had a concussion, and he does not have tremors. He does not have short-term memory loss, thank God, for now.
What are his symptoms right now?
Extreme stiffness on one side of his body. Eventually, it will radiate to the other side of his body. And then, eventually you cannot even talk. But it's over a longer period of time when you have young onset. When you have late onset and you're diagnosed in your 80s, it is very fast moving. So this is like watching a crash in slow motion.
Is it his arms and his legs on that side that's impacted?
His neck down to his feet.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When he wakes up, he, like when your hand makes a fist, like his foot is making like a fist on one side of his body. So yeah, there's a lot of people that have it and don't say anything, So you don't know what people are going through, including this NFL great. And sometimes people may ask you over and over your name or something. You don't know what they're going through.
That's right.
You have no idea.
That's a good point.
So we all need to be kind to each other. By the way, Brett Favre also revealed in 2024 that he has Parkinson's disease. He has said publicly that he wants to team up with Ahman Green, who he played with, and try to fight this disease and find a cure. Currently, there is no cure.
Good update. We'll keep it on the Packers beat. Training camp is underway. Tucker Kraft practicing for the first time. Jason Wilde is in Green Bay, and he's with us up next We're sponsored by Diversified Wealth Strategies. Your life, your goals. Diversified Wealth Strategies.
Many people feeling close to retirement ask themselves, do I have enough?
Am I missing something?
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, we provide clarity during our complimentary, no-pressure consultation. We're independent advisors using big firm tools with a boutique-style approach.
And no crickets. We stay in touch so you're never left wondering.
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, let us show you how to capture the upside, limit the downside, and feel good inside.
Visit dwstrategies.com.
Securities and investment services offered through Mosaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
You know that frustrating injury that just will not heal? Vince Vitrano for MD Hyperbaric. Your back, your ankle, your foot, your knee, recovery after surgery. Doctor said give it time, let it rest, but it's not getting better. MD Hyperbaric supports your body's natural healing process. I've done it myself. Treatments that reduce inflammation, speed recovery, and get you back to living life. No pills, no injections. Discover the healing power of oxygen under pressure. MDHyperbaric.com.
When it's time to explore assisted living, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. That's why we partnered with the American Seniors Housing Association to promote whereyoulivematters.org. I'm Mike from the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association. For over 30 years, our organization of more than 2,000 facility members has led through advocacy, education, and support to help advance quality care. That's why Wisconsin families trust WALA. When it's time to search for assisted living for yourself or a loved one, visit whereyoulivematters.org.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Hope you'll join us Saturdays at 1 for Experience Wisconsin. We take you across the state, introducing you to the people and places that make Wisconsin such a great place for a vacation. We head south to Kenosha, talking about one last summer getaway with our friends at Visit Kenosha. And we're up in the Northwoods, planning that fall trip up in the Rhinelander area. It's Experience Wisconsin on WTMJ, 1 o'clock on Saturdays. Let us help plan your next trip.
Traffic is sponsored by Lynch McQuanago. The place you want to go. Lynch McQuanago.
Chevrolets, Fords, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Rams. All in one location. The place you want to go. Lynch McQuanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
All right, traffic and weather then. Jason Wilde. How we doing out there, Deb?
Well, it's a bit slow on southbound 43 as you're making your way from Capitol Drive down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Northbound, you are backing up from basically the Marquette all the way past Locust. Westbound 94, got some delays coming out of the Stadium interchange to Hawley Road. More delays from just before Moreland Road to Calhoun. On the eastbound side, backups now from Hawley Road through to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for tonight, the rain continues an inch when it's all said and done, a low of 66. Tomorrow, more rain the first half of the day, a high of 72. Sunday, cloudy, breezy, 72 is your high. Monday, sunny, a high of 77. Tuesday, warm and humid, a high of 80 degrees.
You know what it be. Cheese said Alicia Keys, I'm going Swiss cheese, big G's. Falling hard like big G's.
Come on, rap to it. You know it. You know the
You know,
words.
when I think of Jason Wilde, I think of a lot of things. This song wouldn't be in the first 1,000. Literally. Jason Wilde is the host of Wilde and Tausch. He's an award-winning sports writer as well, and he is with us from Green Bay. It's such a treat for us. Jason, good afternoon.
What an entrance. Yeah, I missed you guys. Great to be back, and I don't know how the whole crew there knew my favorite song, but you nailed it. Good work.
Hey, it's a pretty happy day for people talking Packers. Tucker Kraft off the PUP list. Tucker Kraft practicing. Wow, Jason, how big a deal is this for this Packers offense potentially?
Well, it's a huge deal, obviously, but at the same time, I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but he's taking some risk here as well. So it is great news if you're a Packers fan, if you've got your 85 jersey, your favorite player is back on the field. Now, he's only doing individual drills for now. We don't know what the timeline will be for him to get into team 11-on-11 periods, but he was out there today with his helmet. They're going to be in pads on Monday, so he's going to keep doing individual drills for a while, coming off that ACL. But he tore that ACL on November 2nd, and he was back on the practice field today, so he beat the 9-month rule. And, in fact, he believes he could have been ready for the first day of camp, but they were, as he put it, Goody knows that I'm like a tricycle, no brakes. So he was out there today. But the risk, and all kidding aside, like this is a guy that this is all money that the rest of us, well, maybe not John, but the rest of us can't imagine. $3.5 million this year. I want to make sure I got that zinger in there.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
He's making $3.5 million this year, but when he extension wherever it gets done, he's going to average more than $20 million a year, and that's obviously a huge difference.
Wow.
So going out there and playing without the security of that long-term deal, that does have some risk involved, and I wish him nothing but the best, and I think the Packers would be smart to get a deal done soon so everyone's minds are at ease, but he is taking a chance being out there without a new deal signed, sealed, and delivered.
We have Jason Wilde on with us on Wisconsin's Afternoon News at 5:19. Okay, so Micah Parsons, how is he doing?
Well, he's not as far along. His injury obviously happened more than a month, almost 6 weeks later than Tucker's. So he is not, he looked good yesterday. He was jogging with the defensive lineman, which, that's a good group to jog with if you want to look fast. That's probably not very nice for me to say, but he looked really good. But he's so far away from being ready to play. He will not play in the first 4 games. I think that's a foregone conclusion, and the question becomes, will he be able to be back for Week 5, which is against the arch rival Chicago Bears at Lambeau Field on October 11th? And there's some question whether he will be, but he's on pace. But I don't think he's breaking any land speed records the way Tucker Kraft did.
Jason Wilde is with us. So we had Mark Murphy on earlier in the show, Jason, and one of the things we asked him about was the non-disclosure of the length of contracts for LaFleur and Gutekunst. And Mark Murphy, he'll sometimes say stuff that other people probably wish he wouldn't say. He's adamant that it's LaFleur and Gute's choice. Our question was, you're their boss. So ultimately, it's your choice, or in this case, Ed Policy's choice, whether the length is released. Is this a whole bunch of nothing, or is this relevant in some way?
No, first of all, as reporters, we want that information. I don't understand why they do it that way. I do think it's important, and I know Tom Silverstein pointed this out in his column a while back. I don't understand it. I don't think it should be their choice. And look, the reality is that whatever that information will be, if they extended them by 3 years, 4 years, 2 years, I thought Matt LaFleur handled the question about, it was a tough question and maybe even a little bit unfair, but he was asked during the season last year down the stretch, do you feel like you're coaching for your job? Mm-hmm. And I don't think he liked that question, but I loved his answer, which was, I feel like I'm coaching for my job every year and every game. I think that's how he should view it. The NFL, we all know, it doesn't stand for National Football League. It stands for not for long. And This is a team that has very high expectations. And I think they're a playoff team. I think they'd have to have a lot of things fall their way this year to be a Super Bowl team with the amount of time Micah Parsons is missing. But both these guys, their seats, it's kind of like driving a car, right? Like you can turn up your heated seats. I think they should always be on like the lowest setting when you're in the NFL, and then when things are going poorly, then it's on inferno setting.
Ooh, that's a good analogy. Wow.
I learned from Tausch. He's really the analogy guy. I just try to keep.
That's good. I really like that a lot. Is it true that during your last contract negotiation, you made sure that it stayed Wilde and Tausch, not Tausch and Wilde?
Oh, yeah.
That's what we've heard.
No, first of all, my next contract will be my first. Secondly, it just rolls off the tongue better. I always thought like those. How in movies. I don't know. Speaking of infernos, I think it might be the Towering Inferno, where there was a debate between whether Paul Newman or Steve McQueen should get top billing.
Yeah.
So, like, one is higher up, but it's farther to the right of the screen, and then the other one is lower, but it's first. So if you go left to right or up and down, it decides who you view as the star. I am very much aware Tausch is the star. There'll never be a question.
Well, it's interesting you say that because we heard during Tausch's last negotiation, he's trying to make sure that on the live stream, which is how a lot of people consume your amazing show, the font actually be larger for Mark Tauscher. Larger and maybe darker.
It should be. Well, he's larger than me.
No doubt about that. Yeah.
As a star. Wait a minute now. As a star, he's locked in.
Yeah. Well,
sure.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to play this back for him.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, it's good to have you back. We're very excited for the season to begin, not because we care about what happens on the field, but because we get to talk to you a couple times every week. We're going to lock it in.
The way that ended, I'm not sure I'm that excited. I was excited at the start of the segment, but I'm not sure
We're locked
still quite
in.
as excited now.
Yeah, we're locked in.
We're going to rally.
Yeah, you can't get rid of us no matter what. Jason, have a really good weekend.
All right, everybody, take care. Be good.
It's 5:24 at WTMJ. Let's check the markets. Good end to the week as well. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The NASDAQ today up 252 points. That is 1%. The Dow today was up 277. That's 0.5%. The S&P 500 was up 52 points. That's almost 0.75% on the day. Annex Wealth Management, financial planning at every level, fee-only fiduciary all the time. Know the difference with Annex.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests. That's WTMJ.com/contests.
Have you been living with pain and just assuming it's something you have to accept? Do not. WTMJ's Julia Fellow here. If chronic pain is keeping you from enjoying life, I want you to go to Jens Family Chiropractic in Germantown. They now offer soft wave tissue regeneration therapy. I am getting that next generation, brand new, advanced, non-invasive treatment, helps your body repair itself naturally. So soft wave will stimulate healing, improve blood flow, and activate your body's own repair cells to target pain at its source. And if you're dealing with knee pain, shoulder pain, back pain, you can do it all with that. And for a limited time, your first soft wave treatment is just $57. That is an incredible opportunity to find out if this breakthrough therapy can help you like it did for me with my lower back. Appointments are filling quickly. So head to jensfamilychiropractic.com. YENTZ, familychiropractic.com. Regenerate, recover, live pain-free. Jens Family Chiropractic.
Notifications, texts, emails, information coming at you all day, every day. With so much noise, knowing what deserves your attention can feel overwhelming. So it's no surprise that many Americans feel less confident about their retirement finances and stressed about their investments. Turn down the noise. Turn up the planning. Put Annex Wealth Management on your side for trusted investment and retirement guidance, including tax and estate planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, and they offer early memory loss classes to help you. They specialize in this area. It's kindness at the core, locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. It's compassion, it's empathy. It's Wisconsin-based and family-owned, always welcoming people to come tour and welcome their new residents. I've seen their places. They're top-notch. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
For growing businesses, digital marketing shouldn't be a gamble. If your business needs results, not guesswork, it's time for a different approach. At Margle Media, we deliver real results for businesses in an evolving digital world. Backed by data, guided by strategy, and focused on actionable outcomes. We partner with businesses of all sizes to drive growth locally or nationwide. Set up a free consultation today. Visit us at marglemedia.com. That's MARGLE media.com.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, our weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market, how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. Sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Joining me today is Jeff Salazinski, Executive Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, let's talk about employee benefits. R&R Insurance provides employee benefits for all of us here at Good Karma Brands. I'm very happy with the program. When it comes to benefits, there are a few, though, defining factors that can determine whether a plan is successful or not.
There are, Vince. Thank you. Given that employee benefits are a company's second or third largest expense, you need to partner with the right employee benefits insurance professional to get the most out of your plan. At R&R Insurance, ensuring employees understand their benefits and how and when to access them is critical, and not just done at open enrollment, but year-round. Understanding the tools offered by the plan as well, using price transparency tools, and selecting the most appropriate provider benefits both the employee and the employer.
Yeah, Jeff, I've used some of those tools myself. Employee education really can be a win for everyone involved.
It certainly can, Vince. Importantly, we help employers brand their benefit packages in a customized, easy-to-understand fashion, taking out the complex and confusing nature of shopping for health insurance. More importantly, we'll manage and provide as much support as you need for open enrollment and beyond.
Jeff, what else is R&R Insurance providing that really sets you apart?
Our sales professionals really understand how to not only design programs, but help our client partners implement these programs as well. Lastly, plan performance today is built on data and strong analytics. Our analytics team is a great resource for guidance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff. More information for you at myknowledgebroker.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: cleanup continues across the Fox Valley.
I'm Julia Fellow. Why one Wisconsinites failing is another's opportunity.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, northbound on 41, right about at North Avenue. We've got a crash. It is on the left shoulder. Delays coming up from Mayfair Road past that scene, and those stretch all the way to Silver Spring. Southbound's backed up from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol to Burleigh. Also, we've got southbound 43, pretty hefty ride from Capitol Drive down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Eastbound on 894, we've got delays technically backing up onto southbound 894 from just before the Hale interchange through that interchange all the way to about 60th Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Showers and storms likely, windy, a low of 66. Tomorrow, the rain ends by the afternoon. Wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour, a high of 72. Right now, Milwaukee, it's cloudy and 68 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, damage assessments continue across the Fox Valley in the aftermath of that EF3 tornado. City of Menasha Community Development Director Andrew Dane tells Wisconsin's Midday News many structures have significant damage.
A lot of broken windows, a lot of ripped off, torn off siding, a lot of garages. You'd be amazed at how many garages just flew out of people's yards or got moved, 10, 15 feet or ended up in the neighbor's backyard.
Crews are working to remove debris from the road so utilities can be restored.
Milwaukee's former city attorney is found guilty of misconduct. Tierman Spencer was accused of directing his staff to help him and a property owner avoid paying thousands of dollars in fees, repairs, and permits on a property he used to store cars. A jury found him guilty of misconduct in public office and not guilty of misdemeanor obstruction. He could face up to 4 years in prison when he's sentenced in September. He's also charged with money laundering and receiving stolen property, and that's a separate case.
An investigation continues after a fire at a duplex on Milwaukee's east side this morning. The Milwaukee Fire Department was called to the area of Holton and North around 8 o'clock this morning, where they found the second floor of a duplex with flames shooting out the windows. No one was in the home at the time. No injuries have been reported.
President Donald Trump downplaying the threat of foreign interference after several water plants in Minnesota were targeted by a cyber attack. ABC's Christian Cordero has more.
Really what the president is doing, if you read between the lines, is also shrugging off the potential for Iran to have interfered. He's basically said that this is too small for them, that, they should be so lucky, is a direct quote from what he said earlier today. But what stands in contrast of that is just the fact that a lot of this intelligence is coming from his own departments. And so while the investigation is still really early on, there are some suggestions that this is coming from at least an Iranian-backed group.
The FBI is investigating the source of those attacks.
An unprecedented border crisis has erupted in a Spanish territory. Up to 60,000 migrants entered the area from Morocco, with at least 57 of them dying during their attempts to cross. ABC News foreign correspondent Britt Clinette.
We know that tens of thousands have already gone back from Ceuta, some voluntarily, some under these bilateral agreements, but they are straining the makeshift centres that have been set up. They have sent in the military to reinforce the border, requested emergency powers, and they are working with the Moroccan authorities too. But we are still seeing a stream of people cross that border.
The Spanish government says roughly half the migrants have been returned to Morocco.
CBS broadcaster Tony Romo was placed on leave following his arrest last week on suspicion of driving drunk in Milwaukee.
The former Dallas Cowboys quarterback and Burlington, Wisconsin native will be on leave from his role at CBS Sports until further notice. The move follows deputies pulling Romo over on I-43 and his subsequent poor performance on standardized field sobriety tests last week.
Did I pass this test?
You turn around.
No, I didn't.
Romo's court date is scheduled for September 21st. Meanwhile, another Wisconsin native will take Romo's place on CBS's upcoming NFL broadcasts. Former Badger J.J. Watt will serve in the color commentator role alongside Jim Nantz. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. Tucker Kraft is back. The Packers star tight end was activated off the physically unable to perform list this week and was at morning practice with his teammates. Today's return to the practice field marked the first on-field work for Kraft after tearing his ACL on November 2nd. Kraft says he plans on being a full go for the Packers season opener against the Vikings on September 13th. Here on WTMJ tonight is the return of Brewers baseball. The Crew are out west taking on the Angels. Coverage on WTMJ starts at 8 o'clock.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:35.
Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation, and it definitely shouldn't feel like a game. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin believes in straightforward pricing, honest conversations, and helping homeowners find the right fit for their home. Because a fair final price matters more than some flashy discount. Pella never inflates pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. And when you buy direct through Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, one trusted team handles everything from start to finish. The same company that manufactures your windows and doors is also the one selling, installing, and servicing them with Pella certified installers every step of the way. That means confidence in the process, confidence in the product, and one team standing behind the work from beginning to end. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Hey, let's head outside where the wet rats are covering the weather today, standing out in it. That includes Chief Meteorologist Rat Brian Niznansky. Niz, you look wet.
Yeah. Oh, man, yeah, it is wet up here at the Ozaukee County Fair, but it's been light. We have a little bit of a shelter that we're under. The farm animals are all dry. The kids are not so dry. The rides are still going. You know, it's funny. My kids were like, hey, you're going to the fair tonight for work? Yeah, we should come or whatever. And I think they would have been just fine. Mom was not having it with the rain. She was like, yeah, let's go Sunday.
Yeah, we're not doing that tonight.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, honestly, don't let it, if you really want to come to the fair or go outside,
Yeah.
I mean, don't let it stop you. It's pretty light. I do think things are going to pick up, though, in a couple hours. Models are indicating a little bit more convective stuff, which would mean more of at least heavier showers, if not maybe even a few rumbles of thunder. So, on and off, it's going to be a wet evening.
Okay, because I was hoping we had some solid rain. Do you think we're going to get a significant amount for our lawns?
Yeah, I mean, it does. This is, and it comes over a longer period of time, so a good soaking rain. So, yeah, I think this will be beneficial for us. On the flip side, obviously, it messes with everybody's weekend plans. So I would expect the rain to be pretty solid through the night tonight into tomorrow morning, and then by tomorrow afternoon becoming more scattered again. Now, by the afternoon, if you have outdoor plans, maybe hold on to them for now. I think tomorrow morning is still looking pretty wet for everybody. But the afternoon, there was hope that we at least go into more of a scattered mode with the rain.
All right, let me ask you a selfish question. I'm getting in the car and I'm driving up to Eagle River right after the show. So I'm driving, 4 hours straight north. Is it raining the whole way?
Pretty much, yeah. Maybe you get north of 29, you start to get out of it. But this looks like a pretty solid area of rain. So, yeah, you're going to be wet. I don't think, crazy torrential downpours by any means. But yeah, you'll be dealing with a wet ride all the way up this weekend. But hey, up there tomorrow morning it's done. So you'll have a little cooler weather, over this weekend, but it should be drier up in the Northwoods of Wisconsin by tomorrow morning. While the rain lingers here, it should be wrapping up up there later on tonight.
What do you do in a 4-hour car ride? Are we listening to music? Are we talking to Michelle? Are we on the phone?
I want to talk to Michelle the whole time because, you guys are married. It's hard to have like that block of time to talk. Yeah. So I actually make notes in my phone of this. I've been making this for 2 days, things that I want to talk to Michelle about. Like things that you just don't get to, Michelle will be asleep before we leave the driveway. So I'll be talking to myself.
My husband makes me stay awake.
Yes, that's part of your job.
No,
yes, that's
so
absolutely
irritating.
No, if driving,
that's part of a job.
You got to help
us.
Julie
fails.
Let me sleep.
Mine Julie fails every time.
Mine
if that's
too.
the job. Oh my goodness.
Well, it sounds like our Julia fails too.
Yeah, 4 hours. It depends on if I'm by myself. If I'm by myself, I like to veg out to music, maybe a couple podcasts. If it's with the whole family, I mean, it could go either way. We could have fighting kids. We could be making multiple stops. Usually what we do is the kids handle the car rides well because we let them, break the normal habits of screen time and things like that. So they really enjoy that. They're able to veg out on whatever nonsense they like to watch or play, and it usually ends up being a good experience.
All right, Niz, so give us a little bit of detail, would you please, starting tonight in the next 4 or 5 days?
Yeah, so rain likely tonight, maybe a few rumbles of thunder. I think a good bet for an inch of rain at least. There's going to be some spots that see more than that. So we'll see where that shapes up. I think the best chance of some higher amounts will be southwest of Milwaukee. 72 for the high tomorrow. Showers likely becoming more scattered in the afternoon. Also windy. It's not going to feel like the middle of summer this weekend, guys. High of 72 on Saturday. Even Sunday, where we see more sun, it's going to be windy and a high of 74. Monday, mostly sunny, back up to 78. Tuesday, mostly sunny and 84 degrees. So we get back to summer stuff the middle of next week.
All right. Have a really good weekend, Niz.
Yeah, you bet, guys. We'll see you later. Have a good weekend. Have safe travels up into the Northwoods.
Appreciate it. Brian Niznansky's forecast is sponsored by Infinity Exteriors. They're your experts for roofing, siding, and window projects.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in beautiful Menominee Falls. I would love for you to go in there and explore injectables, advanced skin treatments, and wellness services. I get something that is like Botox. It's called Dysport. It's cheaper. It lasts longer. And I would love for you to talk about your journey and talk about your services, what you'd like to get. I get a facial at least once a month. I think I'd look 70 years old by now if I didn't do that. It is incredible. So if you're looking for some wellness services as well, you can go and talk to nurse practitioner Angie about hormone optimization. You can talk about your health, feeling lethargic. She can take care of that, even weight loss services. Go to sweettalks.com. That's sweettalks.com.
If you're in charge of uniforms and equipment, you want to get the most value for your team's budget. You want the most for your money, and you want the process to be easy. Because you already have enough on your plate. We get it. Burkhart Sporting Goods Team Outfitting Division is the best you'll find. With an abnormally high customer satisfaction rate and our own silk screening and embroidery facility for quality control. So if you want the highest quality team outfitting and incredible service,
you can't beat Burkhart. Picture this, a perfect summer evening, great friends, and dinner on the patio overlooking a beautiful course. That's Racine Country Club. More than golf, it's a place to relax, gather, and belong. A new energy is here, and you're invited to experience it. From great food to unforgettable events, it's a lifestyle built around community. Whether it's a quick 9 after work, dinner with friends, or a weekend with family, Racine Country Club offers something for everyone, year-round. Discover what's new at Racine Country Club. Visit racinecountryclub.com.
Keeping you updated on culture and creativity. What's on Tap with Sandy Max.
In the studio with the co-directors of the new documentary simply titled Uke.
It's combining my two great loves of baseball and dreaming of being a baseball player someday and becoming a filmmaker and somehow the two worlds have collided.
Now that they know what he was going through, it'll just make his fans love him even more.
Weeknights at 6 on WTMJ and the What's on Tap podcast on WTMJ.com.
Dave Drakamp Heating and Cooling, where your family's comfort is their family's tradition. They've been doing it here for a very long time because they know what they're doing. They're kind to people. They do things the right way, and they're honest. One of the things that worries people is, hey, my air conditioner's not acting quite right, and I have them come out, they're going to just recommend I get a new unit. That's not how they roll at Drakamp. We do their routine maintenance. They come out and repair things. That's what they're going to do for you. At this time where we're headed into another 2 months where it's going to be very hot outside, make sure your AC is working. Go with the teams I trust, Dave Drakamp. They'll come out, they'll do an honest assessment, maybe recommend a tune-up or a repair, or maybe a new unit. If they do, you can trust that it is the right team and it's a truthful assessment. We've been using Dave Drakamp for a very long time. Just had him out actually for a little issue. When was that? Last week, I guess. And they took care of it. They got us on the schedule. They'll fit you in as well. We've welcomed them into our home for so many years because we just like the way they operate. Visit DaveDragamp.com today, DaveDragamp.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Let's get you where you need to safely for your Friday with Debbie Lazaga.
Starting off the freeway system, we've got eastbound Capitol Drive at Lilly. The two left lanes are blocked with a crash, so that's going to be tightening things up through that area. We do have onto the freeway delays on southbound 41 from just south of Appleton Avenue down towards Burleigh. On the northbound side, that is backing up with a crash at North Avenue on the left shoulder. Beyond that, stays heavy past Burleigh. Southbound 43, slow from Capitol Drive through the Marquette and over the high-rise. Eastbound on 94, backing up from Mitchell Boulevard to 35th. Westbound from the stadium to Hawley Road. More delays from Moreland to Calhoun, and then just before Springdale to Highway F. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Mark Murphy is our former Packers president and CEO, and now, for about a year now, he has held the title Executive in Residence. I like that. At UW Green Bay for their athletics. Mr. Murphy, thank you for joining us.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thanks.
I appreciate
That's a fancy title, huh?
Isn't it? I love it. So you're leading an exciting new webinar series called The Evolution of American Football, and we're trying to get people to sign up for it. So it's very exciting. You go all the way back to the 1800s?
Yes, and that's back then, there wasn't an NFL, and football was very different. I think people will really be interested to kind of see the evolution of football, and there'll be a Packers theme to it throughout. But obviously, there were no Packers until 1919. But I think I'll learn a lot from the whole process too. It'll be fun.
So this is a webinar, right, Mr. Murphy, that people can sign up for? Like, what's the format? How does this work?
Yeah, the best thing, it's part of UWGB's continuing education program. I think last year we reached about 100,000 people, it's obviously not limited to Green Bay or Wisconsin. It's the entire country. And best thing to do if they want to is to go onto the UWGB website, and that would have all the information there. But it's a great program, and it's lifelong learning is kind of the thought process, or the policy is. It's not just 4 years of high school, 4 years of college. Really, you can really learn and continue to grow as your life goes forward. And it's not just for retirees. I mean, it can be young kids, whoever has an interest in kind of the history of football. Really, it'll be 3 different classes, one a month, starting in the fall in September, October, and November, and kind of the history. I think there'll be a little bit. We'll have to have the Lambeau years, and then
yes.
Kind of the growth of football with and Lombardi obviously was a big part of that, and then the last part will be kind of the current day, and particularly with the dominance on TV with the NFL.
Go to uwgb.edu to sign up.
Yep.
There's a lot of talking about player development, and you also will explore rule changes. Which one stands out to you the most?
Oh boy. Well, player development. You watch films from the 20s and 30s. It was a different game then. Not a lot of passing, but players. It's amazing what players nowadays can do. So there'll be a real mix. The rule changes. So many over the years. You look at them. We're all health and safety related. Making sure. I mean, there were, and of course, the equipment back in the early days. Leather helmets did not provide a lot of protection, and so that's something that I've really enjoyed during my time with the Packers. I was pretty involved with the competition committee, which really oversees all the rules, and really the vast majority of things that we discussed were not only to make the game better and more exciting, but most importantly to make it safer.
So which rule right now should we get rid of? Which rule do we need to change or kick to the curb in today's NFL?
Oh, geez, I don't know. We spent a lot of time on, pass interference, but I don't know. I think the league's in a pretty good place now. The popularity is off the charts, and you want to have everything decided on the field.
What about the tush push?
Oh, that's a good call. Are you? I think the only people in favor would be Eagles fans.
Yes.
My last year, I got slaughtered in Philadelphia because I felt that the tush push. I don't think it's a rugby play, not a football.
Yes.
Play.
Okay, so the Lambeau leap and everything.
We didn't have the votes, unfortunately.
We're with you though. You're on the right side of this one, Mark.
So we have the Lambeau leap and celebrating. Do you think that maybe we should get rid of, people over celebrating and getting, fouled or called out?
Like taunting.
I like it.
Yeah, I think, obviously the Lambeau leap is great, and I think it's connecting the players with the fans. But, when it's the taunting, obviously I think should be penalized. And when the celebration is really all about the player and himself rather than celebrating with teammates or fans, I think that's where you kind of cross over. Those are tough calls though for the officials, especially just scored a touchdown. There's a lot of excitement. Sometimes players kind of get a little emotional and forget about what the rules might be.
Former Packers president and CEO Mark Murphy is with us. A very cool webinar series he's got going on at UWGB. Training camp this week. What do you miss most about being in the building and being at the practice field during this time of year?
I really miss the interaction with the players as well as coaches. And with training camp, usually the month and a half before that, there's nobody around. And so then when the players and everybody comes back, it's pretty special here. In terms of the Packers training camp, so many of the other teams, you maybe just get a few people to come to practice. It's amazing. You get thousands to come watch our practices, and really, I think the players really enjoy that too. It brings a lot of energy.
Ed Policy, your successor, recently said that Lambeau Field will never be renamed. You said, I know the same thing, I think, during your tenure. My question is, were there ever discussions about naming rights for Lambeau as you look to explore revenue streams and everything's on the table? Were there ever discussions about that possibility?
No. Lambeau Field is the best asset the Packers have. And, making a few $1 million a year is not worth changing or ruining what's an iconic stadium and revered across the league and in all professional sports.
So at the meetings, you were the guy in charge. You represented the Packers. You went to these meetings and sat next to all those fat cats like the dude down in Dallas and all those other guys. Without that fat cat owner, does it put the Packers at any competitive or financial disadvantage?
I think that, there's trade-offs. I think when you weigh the positives and the negatives, I think it's clearly, in my mind, the positives outweigh the negatives. best thing about us is, our fans have a connection to the team that fans of, other teams in the NFL don't have, because they're owners, they're shareholders. And we see that. Obviously, we sell out Lambeau Field, but one of the most exciting things for me during my tenure was when our fans would take over away stadiums when we're on the road. And, just they travel well, and it's a huge advantage for us.
Mr. Murphy, can you explain the psychology behind why we don't know Coach LaFleur's contract term length or the GM? Because I wanted to know, and they're not releasing that information.
Well, if I were president, it was. I'm just kidding. It's obviously I hired Matt. I think the world of him, and he's had a tremendous run, and really happy for him. And it's really a club policy. Not to use the word policy too much, but I think Ed was, and probably it's something Matt wants to. The salaries, obviously, for coaches are high, and I think he'd just prefer not to have that public information.
How many pieces?
But he is. I will assure you, he is well compensated, and he deserves it.
We don't need to worry about him.
Yeah.
How many
Exactly.
pieces of Packers clothing do you have?
Oh.
Add up the closet and the dresser drawers. How many pieces?
That is, all right, I'm going to say close to 100.
Wow.
17 years. Well, and then you also, a lot of people think, oh, well, I'll get them Packer gear stuff for Christmas.
Oh, boy. Mr. Murphy, do you get free Packers tickets for life now?
No, I do not. In fact,
what?
Yep.
We got to take care of that.
I could go sit in the executive committee suite, but my wife and I decided we have our own suite that we pay for, and it's kind of a nice way to bring a lot of our friends and family together during the season.
So this amazing webinar is a 3-part webinar. There's one in September, October, November. It's really cool. The evolution of American football. A lot of stuff in there about the Packers. And the guy leading it is Mark Murphy, the former Packers president and CEO of the Packers. UWGB.edu, I think, is that the website, the easiest place to get the information?
Correct.
UWGB.edu.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mark, thank you so much.
Say, you're welcome. UWGB, it's, I think, 100,000 people last year in this program, and they just do so many great things in the community, and I'm really pleased to have a role as executive in residence with UWGB.
Glad you're still part of it. Yeah, part of our city.
Have a great weekend.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks. Take care.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
A Milwaukee-based law firm sues